Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Back at you the new video. Today is Saturday, July 26th, 2025, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ ORIONNWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the Seattle Mariners versus the Los Angeles Angels. First pitch is going to be here in roughly 5 minutes. So let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get into the starting lineups. Happy Saturday, everyone. On the thumb, on the left is center fielder stud Julio Rodriguez. And on the right, Angel stud Taylor Ward. Now let's get into the starting lineups here first for the visiting Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners at shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Batting second, playing center field, Julio Rodriguez. 2 home runs last night. Fantastic job. Definitely turning the page and turning the corner lately, but we're going to need others to step up as well. Great job, Julio. Batting third, DHing today for Seattle, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. We're looking for home run number 40 tonight. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, left fielder, Randy Arozarena. Batting fifth, playing first base, Josh Naylor. Batting sixth, playing second base, Jorge Polanco. Batting seventh, catching today for Seattle, Mitch Garver. Batting eighth, playing right field, Dominic Canzone. And batting ninth, playing third base, Ben Williamson. And on the mound for the Mariners with a 4-5 record, an ERA of 4.65, it is George Kirby. And now let's get into the starting lineups for the home Los Angeles Angels. Leading off for the Angels at shortstop, Zach Neto. Batting second, DHing for the Angels, future first ballot Hall of Famer Mike Trout. Batting third, playing first base, Nolan Shonowell. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, left fielder, Taylor Ward. Batting fifth, playing center field for Los Angeles, Joe Adele. Batting sixth, playing third base for the Angels, Yohan Moncada. Batting seventh, catching today for the Angels, Logan O'Hoppe. Batting eighth, playing second base, Luis Rengifo. And batting ninth, playing right field, Lamont Wade Jr. And on the mound for the Angels with a 2-6 record and ERA of 4.43, it is Tyler Anderson. We're going to be shooting for 20 likes within the first hour, 50 at the halfway point, and we'll be shooting for 100 likes and 100 on the Dono train. Definitely a big win for the Angels yesterday. Dramatic loss for us. But again, it's a long season, and we're going to be going through these peaks and valleys, and it's not always going to go our way. And again, starting pitching is really important, but just as important is the bullpen. But we also need hitting. And again, we can't just have Julio having a great game and not really anybody else stepping up. And unfortunately, that has been the case quite often when Julio ends up having this like monster game, for whatever reason, we can't get anybody else to play well in a game where Julio goes off. Now, if everyone goes off and Julio ends up having a decent game, then we're almost unstoppable. But it's just about getting everyone on the same page, and hopefully we can do that today. Kirby has been a little shaky with the last couple starts, so this one is definitely going to be very crucial. And we got Logan Gilbert on the mound tomorrow. So if we have any chance on winning 3 out of 4, we got to win here tonight. It's already split 1-1, and obviously going 3 out of 4 is going to be, incredibly tough, especially, with George Kirby and Logan Gilbert on the mound. But again, a little bit more confidence with probably Logan. But again, if we lose here today, more than likely we're going to split 2-2. So we'll see where it goes. But again, it's definitely going to be a competitive matchup, and we'll see how the chips fall. On the mound for the Angels, Tyler Anderson. Leading off for the Mariners, shortstop J.P. Crawford. On deck, center fielder Julio Rodriguez, and batting third, DHing today, big dumper Cal Raleigh. Try to ends up. Let's go M's. And I'm glad they ended up moving Naylor down in the lineup slightly. Maybe that'll put a little bit less pressure on him. But I feel confident that we can get the job done today. I got the Julio jersey on today to represent what he did yesterday. And hopefully he'll be able to have a dominant game here today as well, with others stepping up as well. How are you doing all day? What's good? What's good, brother? How are you? Let him know. 100 on the likes and 100 on the Dono train. Let's go, baby. And the magic number for the Mariners will be 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits. If we hit that number, we should have a very good chance to compete late or win. But it really will come down to the bullpens as well. First pitch from Tyler Anderson to J.P. Crawford. Takes a strike, being low and away. 0-1 count. Oh, 0-1 pitch, fouls it off, low and away with that four-seam fastball by Tyler Anderson. No balls and 2 strikes from Anderson to Crawford. Come on, JP, we need you to strike early and often. And definitely making a blunder yesterday by bunting towards third when we had runners at first and second, trying to advance them to second and third. Should have bunted towards first base, and who knows, if that would have happened, maybe we end up winning. 0-2 pitch, high and inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Anderson to J.P. Crawford. Let's go, J.P. And obviously, J.P. sets the tone for us typically as well. So when he can get a hit in one of his first 2 at-bats, it really does make the difference for the Mariners moving forward. Top of the first inning, global broadcast on MLB Network. J.P. Crawford in the box. Tyler Anderson on the mound. 1-2 pitch. High and away. Slider missing the strike zone by just inches. 2 balls and 2 strikes to J.P. Crawford. Zero chance the Angels win 3-0. 0. 2-2 pitch. High and away. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. 3-2 pitch, fouled off right down the middle. Count still is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Anderson to Crawford. I mean, to think that you guys are going to score 3 and we're going to put up 0. Tyler Anderson's 2-6 with an ERA of 4.43. It's not like he's 6-2 with an ERA of 1.43. Come on, my guy. Know your stats. Yeah, 2-6 record is really hot. 3-2 pitch. Fouled off. Count still is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to J.P. Crawford. 3-2 pitch and flied out to center. 1 away. Next up is center fielder Julio Rodriguez. 2 home runs last night, but not a whole lot of production from the others. Hopefully we'll be able to get going here early with Julio as well. First pitch to Julio Rodriguez from Tyler Anderson, high and inside. Four-seam fastball, 95 plus miles an hour by Anderson, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike looking low and at the hips. 1 ball and 1 strike to Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. We needed that electricity early and often. 1-1 pitch, fouled off, high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Julio Rodriguez. I mean, one thing I will give the Angels, they always play us tough regardless of record. So, I mean, they literally could be 10 games above 500 or 20 below. They're still going to play us the same way. So, again, I love the rivalry. And again, it's going to be heated just like it typically is with the Astros and the Rangers. You know, Athletics and Angels may not be as heated up a rivalry, but they always play us tough. And you never know what's going to happen in any game between the Mariners and the Angels. That's facts. 2-2 pitch. High and inside. 3 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Anderson on the mound, Julio in the box. All right, baby, we're at 20, 30 more to go to get to the halfway point. Let's get there, baby. Try dance up, let's go. 3-2 pitch, fouled off, low and at the knees. Count still is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Tyler Anderson to Julio Rodriguez. And again, Anderson, 2-6 record, ERA of 4.43. So it's not impossible for him to have a good game, but not really having the type of season that he's had in the past, past years in the MLB. Top of the first inning, global broadcast on MLB Network. We're knotted up at 0 here early. And hopefully we can get Julio with a hit here early. 3-2 pitch, and Julio stays hot, baby. I love it. And again, we've been waiting for this version of Julio since May, and he finally has arrived. By declining the All-Star visit and letting Randy go, really was a godsend and a blessing, and now we're seeing the best version of Julio Rodriguez. Thank God. Let's go, baby. Nice job. Next up is big dumper Cal Raleigh. First pitch from Tyler Anderson to Cal Raleigh. Takes a strike looking high and inside, 0-1 count. And we need Cal to bring that electricity, and hopefully we get home run number 40 today. 0-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, high and inside. No balls and 2 strikes with a runner at first and 1 out. We're knotted up at here 0 early on.
Oh my gosh.
0-2 pitch. And there we go. Back-to-back singles by Julio and Cal Raleigh. That's what I'm talking about, baby. And to say Tyler Anderson's having a great game, we're in the first inning. It's not like he's in the 7th or 8th inning and he's got 9 Ks and we're at a 0. Come on, my guy. Let's go, baby. Cal with a single, Julio with a single. Now we need Randy to be able to get an RBI single, RBI double, a single, a home run, a walk, a plunk, anything to be able to keep the inning moving. Let's go. Next up for the Mariners, Randy Arozarena, who's been very hot since June 11th. First pitch to Randy Arozarena. Takes a strike looking low and inside, 0-1 count. The thing is, he's not trolling. He actually thinks that. Like, we're in the first inning. Come on, man. 0-1 pitch. Fouled off, low and inside. No balls and 2 strikes with runners at first and second and 1 out. And really, it's going to come down to George Kirby, and more than likely the bats. And if George can pitch decent, we should have a chance. But if he pitches like we've seen him pitch, earlier this year where he's shaky, it could be a long day, and then we got Logan Gilbert on the mound tomorrow, which we feel a little bit more confident in Kirby. But again, if we want to win 3 out of 4, we got to be able to win here today. But if we drop the game today, it's a must win tomorrow to split the series 2-2. But, when you're playing teams like the Angels, the Rangers, and the Athletics, you got to try to be able to win 2 out of 3, 3 out of 4, or get an occasional sweep at one point or another. We got to make up some ground on the Astros. Top of the first inning, runners at first and second. Julio and Cal. Anderson on the mound, Randy in the box. 0-2 pitch, fouled off, high and inside. No balls and 2 strikes with 1 out and runners at first and second here early in the top of the first inning. 0-2 pitch. Fouled off, low and away. No balls and 2 strikes to Randy Arozarena. JP, we need you to be able to be better. Julio's doing his job. Cal doing his job early as well. Can we get Randy on with a base knock? Don't strike out, my guy. Let's go. .369 batting average. And normally Julio's going to be batting, well over 300. After the All-Star break, he's been able to do that in his first 3 years, and hopefully that'll continue here in year number 4. 0-2 pitch. Fouls that one off right down the middle. Randy is grinding, but still in a no balls, 2 strikes with runners at first and second and 1 out. Let's go, baby. Lucas in the building. What's good? 0-2 pitch. Fouled off again. Randy, keep grinding, baby. 0-2 pitch. And popped up and flied out. And that is 2 away. All right, big opportunity here for our new first baseman, formerly of the Guardians and the Diamondbacks. He looks good in that Seattle uniform. First baseman, Josh Naylor. Come on, Josh. And we wouldn't expect him to hit a 3-run jack here, but just to be able to get a single or a double and to be able to, move these runners over or bring them home to keep the inning alive would be key. See if Naylor can be a hero here early for us so we can get on the board. First pitch from Anderson to Naylor. Big swing and a miss, low and away. And Naylor is one of those individuals that does like to chase pitches. He will pop up, ground out, hit into double plays often, but he will come up with some pretty big plays as well. He's just got to be able to find the patience in the box and find the rhythm. Get comfortable with your new teammates and just let the game come to him. 0-1 pitch. High and away, big swing and a miss. And again, players know how to pitch to Naylor. And again, hopefully he'll adjust and be a little bit more patient in the box, because if he didn't swing at those first 2 pitches, it would be 2 balls and no strikes instead of being in an 0-2 count. Come on, Josh. Top of the first inning, runners at first and second and 2 outs. 0-0 here early on, hits by Julio and Cal. Can we get one more hit in this particular inning to keep the inning alive? It wouldn't shock me if Naylor ends up striking out in his first couple at-bats, but you can always hope that he can get on early rather than late. .0-2 pitch, fouled off, low and away. Count still remains. No balls, 2 strikes with runners at first and second and 2 outs. Naylor in the box. Tyler Anderson on the mound. Let him know we'll be shooting for 100 likes and 100 on the Dono train. And the faster that we can end up hitting those goals, and obviously it'll help the channel with the algorithm and also recommendations for others that are looking for the Mariners, the Angels, or MLB action. 0-2 pitch and flied out to center for out number 3. We don't score anything there in the top of the first, but a good early sign with singles by Julio and Cal, and hopefully in the second, third, or fourth inning, we'll be able to bring those guys home. Let's go to the bottom of the first inning and see who's up next here for George Kirby. Leading off for the Angels, shortstop, feeding off the momentum after his bobblehead night, Zach Neto. Batting second, future first ballot Hall of Famer, DHing nowadays, Mike Trout. And batting third, first baseman, Nolan Shonowell. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. No double play. Just a standard pop out. But again, Naylor, has hit, into quite a few. when he was on the Guardians and the Diamondbacks. We just have to pray that that won't happen to us and the Mariners as often. Sometimes we'll have a little bad luck, but I do feel that he'll be able to get a hit, pretty much every game. There'll be a few games where he gets 2 or 3, but typically a 1 for 4, 2 for 5 kind of guy. And we just got to hope at some point that some of those hits will end up being big RBIs and big home runs to help us win. And even if he ends up struggling a little bit, early on, he's going to be a better defender than Solano, and he's also going to be better in the box than Solano. So, at the end of the day, it gives us the depth that we need at first base, and we just have to hope that he gets comfortable with the team sooner than later. We still need Gino to come back at third base, and it looks like it's going to come down to the Mariners, the Cubs, and the Tigers. Yankees ended up getting Ryan McMahon from the Rockies, so they're out. And I know he would look really good in a Cub uniform. Tigers are a good team this year as well, but something about coming home would be fantastic for us and would probably make the biggest impact, for our team as well as the Chicago Cubs. Their 1 through 9 roster is loaded. And if they ended up getting Gino, that could be the difference between the Cubs making the ALDS or the NLDS, NLCS, or possibly the World Series, even over teams like the Dodgers, the Padres, the Giants, the Phillies, the Mets, and the Brew Crew. So again, getting Gino for the Cubs would be big too. First pitch from George Kirby to Zach Neto. Fouls it off, high and inside, 0-1 count. And we're going to need George to give up 3 runs or less. Got to get 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits with the offense, and we need George to be locked in. 0-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss by Neto, and that is strike 3. Great start. First punch out, first batter, and hopefully we can have a 10 to 14K game out of Kirby. That'll give us a good chance. But even if he can't hit the 10, maybe shooting for at least 7 Ks would be magnificent. Batting second, DHing here for the Angels, Mike Trout. It's regardless on, if I was an Angel fan or a Mariner fan, it's too tough to tell. I feel like the talent level is higher on the Mariners compared to the Angels, and we do have a better record. We have a better chance of making the playoffs than they do. But the thing is anytime you play the Angels, you never know what you're going to get. And, even if they don't have Shohei Ohtani anymore and Trout is no longer in his prime, the Angels are always going to play us tough. So honestly, betting on the Mariners or the Angels, it's not really a smart bet either way, because you don't really know, how the pitching is going to be. You don't know how the bullpen is going to react, and you don't know what batters are going to come to play. It's almost split right down the middle. In other series, it's a little bit easier, to predict, but, again, it could end up being a 4-2 game, 3-2 game, 6-5 game, 2-1 game, and you don't really know who's going to win. I know Mariners are typically favored in the series, but again, anything can happen like last night. You don't get good play by JP and a few of the others, and sometimes you end up dropping the game even with Julio with 2 home runs. 2-1 pitch, high and away, 3 balls and 1 strike from Kirby to Trout. Logan Gilbert is on the mound tomorrow. So I guess if you were going to bet on, the Mariners or the Angels, I would assume betting tomorrow, possibly for the Mariners, if Gilbert does well, that would be maybe more of a safer bet. But again, you just don't know what version of Logan Gilbert will show up. It will be the dominant one, or will he get rocked? We don't know. That's what makes baseball exciting. 3-1 pitch, fouled off, high and inside. Count now was full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Kirby to Trout. Well, these are the scores early in the year. 5-4 Angels in Game 1, 8-6 Angels in Game 2, 3-2 Mariners in Game 3, 4-2 Mariners, obviously in the first game in this series, 3-2 yesterday, and then we'll see what we get today. So it seems like most of the time, the scoring is going to be, usually 4 runs or less. But usually once in the series, it might end up being more than 5 runs for at least one team, sometimes both. So kind of tough to say. First pitch from Kirby to Shonowell. Takes a strike looking, 0-1 count. Now, we won game number 1. So it's split 1-1. It's a 4-game set. So if we win here today, we go up 2-1. If we lose today, then we go down 1-2 and then have to win with Logan Gilbert tomorrow. So if we win today and win tomorrow, we win 3 out of 4. If we lose today and win tomorrow, we split 2-2. So it really depends on what Kirby does here today. 0-1 pitch, low and at the knees with the splitter. 1 ball and 1 strike from Kirby to Shawnuel. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Got to make sure the defense is on. And down goes Shawnuel for out number 3. And again, yeah, you know, every matchup is going to be tough. You know, Astros have dominated the division. You know, when the Rangers ended up winning the World Series, they were a wild card team, and they may not be as good as they were in the past, but they're creeping uncomfortably close to the Mariners, you know, in 3rd place. And even with the teams that are at the bottom, the Angels and the Athletics, on any given day, they can explode, like we saw yesterday with Kurtz, you know, going 6 for 6 with 4 home runs and having one of the best games of all time as a rookie, not just a player that was a vet. And they got guys like Brent Rooker and Lawrence Butler, Jacob Wilson that could end up winning Rookie of the Year. And obviously with the Angels, they don't have Ohtani anymore. Trout is a little bit older, but they still know how to play us. And again, rivalry matchups are always typically going to be close, and we know each other better than any other teams because we play them more often than anybody else throughout the year. End of the first inning, 0-0, Mariners and Angels. Let's see who's up next here for Tyler Anderson. Next up for the Mariners in the 6th hole, second baseman Jorge Polanco. Batting second, catching for Seattle, Mitch Garver. And batting third, right fielder Dominic Canzone. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. First pitch from Tyler Anderson to Jorge Polanco. High and away with that 4-seam fastball, 89 miles an hour, 1-0 count. One 0 pitch, fouls it off right down the middle. 1 ball and 1 strike to Jorge Polanco. Top of the second inning, MLB Network global broadcast. We're knotted up at 0 here early on. Tyler Anderson on the mound, Jorge Polanco in the box. And we're going to have to hit a couple home runs. You know, when the Mariners don't hit a home run, we lose 99% of the time. So hopefully we can find a way to get the channel the momentum that we need early on. You know? But it has to be a collective effort. Can't be just Julio and nobody else. 1-1 pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Anderson to Polo. Come on, Jorge. Get on base with a single, double. We'll take the home run if we can get it as well. One-two pitch, fouled off, high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Anderson to Polo. Yeah, it's a pretty rare item. You know, you can't really find them on eBay, and you have to actually buy it when you go to a game at the stadium throughout the stadium store, and usually the stadium store sells out pretty quick. But it's probably one of the, you know, most unique props as far as something you can buy to represent your team that has been available in many, many years. 2-2 pitch, fouled off right down the middle. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Anderson to Polo. Polo grinding this out, baby. Let's go. Tomorrow's game is going to be early, around 1:10 Pacific. It's on Roku, which is a little odd, but I will have access to the game. I mean, nowadays, with streaming platforms, you never know, where games are going to be. In the future, we may see games on Disney Plus or Hulu, or, you never know. Netflix, like, whoever offers the most money, typically will end up getting the games. Unless there's a certain deal in place for, particular games and particular matchups. 2-2 pitch. High and away. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Anderson to Polo. 3-2 pitch. Fouled off. Right down the middle. Count still full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody on, and no outs. 3-2 pitch. And popped up and fouled out to right. That was like a 10-pitch at-bat there for Polo. Getting some extra wear and tear on Anderson. 1 away. Next up for Tyler Anderson, in the 7-hole, catching today for the Mariners, Mitch Garver. First pitch from Anderson to Garver. Takes a strike looking right down the middle, 0-1 count. Monkey Kung Fu in the building. What's good, brother? 0-1 pitch, fouled off, high and inside with the cutter. 85 miles an hour by Tyler Anderson. No balls, strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Mariners knotted up at 0 here early on MLB Network. Heartbreaking loss for us yesterday, but again, Julio played great, but not really anybody else. And then J.P. Crawford, with a little bit of a bugaboo. You got runners at first and second, with 1 out, and you bunt towards third. Like, how dumb do you have to be? Like, I don't know if I've ever seen a player make such a bad mental error there. You need to sacrifice yourself and bunt towards first. And maybe if he would have done that, we would have won, but we're never going to know. But nice job by Mitch Garver with a little bloop single there to right. I love it. Let's go. Nice job by Mitch. And again, obviously not the best catcher, an okay backup. Harry Ford would be better, but we're probably going to be trading Harry Ford to the Diamondbacks for Eugenio Suarez and probably a few other guys as well if we can get the deal done. A nice job by Mitch Garver in the meantime. Next up is right fielder Dominic Canzone. First pitch from Tyler Anderson, low and away with the cutter. 82 miles an hour, missing the strike zone by a few feet, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, cutter, same spot, same location, speed, slightly different, 84 miles an hour, 2 balls and no strikes to Dominic Canzone. 2-0 pitch, takes a strike looking high and away, should have been called a ball, a foot off the plate, so it should be 3 balls, no strikes, not 2 balls, 1 strike. First bad call of the night, and we'll definitely be keeping track on how many bad calls that we get on our end, as well as bad calls for the Angels. 2-1 pitch, takes a strike looking low and away. That one was in the strike zone. That's a correct call. 2 balls, 2 strikes with a runner at first and 1 out. Top of the second inning, 0-0, Mariners and Angels. Yeah, I mean, if we want to be able to make a deep run, it's almost like we have to do it. As long as, he decides not to go to the Cubs or the Tigers, he may not even have a say in it. It all really depends on what kind of compensation they get. And I feel the Mariners could give up the most based on us having the number 1 farm. So, not to say that the Cubs and Tigers have no chance. They definitely do. But if we give up Harry Ford, another positional player and a pitcher, go like a 3-for-1, that might be enough to get the deal done. But we're definitely going to have to give up good players, not like the players we gave up to get Josh Naylor, guys that, aren't even really going to be on the team, that are just kind of farm guys. And Canzone grounds out into the double play. Shortstop, throw to first, and that is it. They're going to review it, and no review. Good defense there by the Angels, and an unfortunate double play there. Great defense. Got it at first, threw it to second, and Garver had no chance there at second base. Great defense there by the Angels, and hopefully we don't hit into too many double plays throughout the matchup. Go to the bottom of the second inning and see what George Kirby has in store for the batters that he faces. Next up In the 4-hole, left fielder Taylor Ward. Batting second, center fielder Joe Adele. And batting third baseman Yohan Moncada. Try to hits up. Let's go, M's. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 100 likes on the stream before it ends. And we're shooting for 100 on the dono train as well. Yeah, we actually just ended up getting, the top farm recently. Normally, they're not even near the top with the farm system, but it's just as of the last few years, we've been drafting really, really well and developing our guys. But again, it's been the last few years, last couple, where we've been getting the notoriety. But prior to the last couple years, normally it was like, in the top like 15. Typically, normally not at the bottom. There's usually other teams that were better, but it really depends on how many of those farm guys that you keep, in the farm, how many you trade away, and how many get called up. And that'll affect the farm rankings. Obviously, if you got a lot of guys in the farm and you call them up, then you run the risk of the farm not being as good at that point, or if you trade certain guys away. So you definitely want to make sure you're developing. First pitch from Kirby to Ward. Back. See ya! And a big home run by Taylor Ward. That's not what we want to see as Mariner fans. Kirby, you got to be better. And that is a 1-0 lead for the Angels. Nice job by Taylor Ward, bringing the electricity early, just like Julio Rodriguez did for us yesterday. 1-0 Angels. Next up is center fielder in the 5-hole, Joe Adele. And again, we have to have Kirby give up 3 runs or less, or it's going to be a long day. And again, Kirby hasn't been the greatest this year. Missed the first 50-plus games with shoulder inflammation that happened in spring training. Still doesn't look really like the same, top 20 pitcher that we're used to. And again, there's going to be good games of George and bad games. And, hopefully this won't turn into a bad one. 1-0 pitch. Fouls it off right down the middle. 1 ball and 1 strike to Joe Adele. Yeah, and not only that, even if we go all in for Gino, it's not only getting Gino for this year, but trying to have Gino for a long-term deal and having him for for the foreseeable future. 1-1 pitch, low and at the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike from Kirby to Adele, and hopefully Kirby can end up putting that home run behind him, and he won't lose that swagger or confidence. But it's definitely. The confidence has been shaken this year. The first time George has had a major injury, and it has affected his output for sure. 2-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, high and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Joe Adele. Let's go M's, baby. But, getting some more depth at third base, right field, and the bullpen. Those would be the positions that we need to fill. We already got Naylor to fill in the hole at first base to give us some depth with Solano. Now it's third base, right field, and the bullpen. And they may not address the right field situation with Dominic Canzone, Luke Raley, Dylan Moore, even though Dylan Moore shouldn't even be on the team, but I don't think anyone would want him. There's no one that's going to be calling for a guy that has struck out, it seems like, in his last 100 fucking at-bats. Besides that 4th of July game that I went to against the Pirates, and somehow, some way, he fucking homered in that game. But he's been extremely bad the last 2 to 3 months. But he had 8 homers at the beginning of the year, but he's completely fallen off. And now he's the worst player on the team besides Carlos Vargas. 3-2 pitch, fouled off, high and inside. Count still is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Kirby to Adele. 3-2 pitch, fouled off again with the splitter. Count still full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Kirby to Adele. Adele has fouled off the last 4 pitches, and this is going to be pitch number 10 incoming for Kirby on Adele, and we don't want Kirby to have the pitch count go extremely high where we have to, pull him by like the 5th inning or 6th inning. I don't expect him to go 7, either Tyler Anderson. But again, you know the bullpen has been a little shaky. We're not going to be able to play Brash, Bizzardo, Spire, and Munoz every day. So that would mean, you may see Carlos Vargas or, Trent Thornton or Colin Snyder or a player like that. And when we bring in guys like that, it could be a disaster. 3-2 pitch. And pitch number 10 is a ball. And that is a long at bat there for Joe Adele, and he walks to first. Good eyes by Joe Adele. Next up is Yoan Moncada. First pitch to Moncada, low and at the knees with the slider, 1-0 count. Come on, George. And again, this is the first year the Mariners have really been hurt with injuries. Normally, our starting pitching is electric, and the bullpen sucks and the hitting sucks. Now, like, the hitting has gotten much better in 2025. The bullpen, has been good and bad throughout the year. It's been streaking, but starting pitching overall hasn't really been very good for us this year. I mean, normally, the guys are much better, but also, we've never had 3 out of our 5 starters be injured for a good chunk of the year. Bryce Miller still on the IL, and it was trying to play hurt, but was playing shitty. George Kirby missed the first 50-plus games, and Logan Gilbert missed about half of the first half of the season. So, it's not ideal. Brian Wu stepped up. Logan Evans and Emerson Hancock did their best. But, again, not very many teams would be able to survive with 3 out of their 5 starters missing significant time. 2-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss, low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Yoan Moncada. We're going to need a punch out and a double play, or a double play and a punch out. Let's see if we can get Moncada to have a slow dribbler right up to JP and a throw to first to Naylor to get the double play, or if we can get a punch out first and then a double play. 2-2 pitch, and big swing and a miss, and that is another punch out for George Kirby. There we go, baby. I like that. 1 away. Keep wheeling and dealing, baby. Next up is Logan O'Hoppe. Now, hopefully we get the double play here with O'Hoppe. Slow dribbler right up the middle to JP, throw to Naylor, out of the inning. I mean, we're already down 1-0. We don't want to be down 2-0, 3-0, 4-0 early. Daniel in the building, what's good? First pitch to O'Hoppe, and lined out to center. Julio Rodriguez is there, 2 away. Next up for the Angels in the 8-hole, second baseman Luis Rengifo. Maybe we can get a punch out on him, or a pop-up or ground out. Let's go, George. Keep wheeling and dealing, baby. Man, Julio Rodriguez is so fucking athletic there in center field. For all the people that get so frustrated, including myself, of, what he does in the box or what he doesn't do in the box when he's, not on his game. I mean, there is not very many people that would be able to make that type of play out there in center field. I mean, he's got the speed, he's got the athleticism, he's got good glove work. Now, every once in a while, he'll fuck up, just like anybody. Everyone's human, But again, Julio is definitely one of the best defensive center fielders in the game, period. Stolen bag there by Joe Adele. And we're here in the bottom of the second inning with a 1-0 Angel lead. And hopefully it'll stay that way here in the second inning. Taylor Ward with a big blast, 404 feet over Julio's head in center field to give him the 1-0 lead. Zay in the building. What's good, brother? And they're going to do a review here to see if Adele is out at second or not. Looks like JP got the tag. Let's see, look at a couple different camera angles. First camera angle, he looks out. And second camera angle looks out by about 6 inches before his fingers hit the bag. So this should be overturned. Let them know, baby. I mean, especially with the amount of people that we have in the room, should be able to hit those numbers a lot faster. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer. and video review. And there it is. Call overturned, and that is out number 3. Great call there by Dan Wilson, and obviously everyone there in the dugout. JP with the great tag. Joe Adele is out, and we can stop the bleeding. We're only down 1-0. Good call there. Fans boo in Los Angeles, but it was the correct call. End of the second inning. Let's go to the top of the third. 1-0 Angel lead. Taylor Ward with a solo dinger to give him the 1-0 edge. Next up for the Mariners, third baseman in the 9-hole, Ben Williamson. Batting second, 0 for 1, shortstop, J.P. Crawford. And batting third, 1 for 1, center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. 2 homers yesterday. You know, we don't necessarily need him to homer once or twice today, but it would be great to kind of set the tone. And hopefully we can get a few other people to step up as well, especially this guy right here, Cal Raleigh, big dumper, the best catcher in baseball. We're looking for home run number 40 tonight. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. And we gained 3 subs already. So shout out to all the new subs. $33 subs to go to get to 21,200. Shout out to all those individuals watching all over the globe. Appreciate you guys very, very much. First pitch from Tyler Anderson to Big Ben. Takes a strike looking right down the middle with the changeup, 79 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Let's go, Big Ben. We need you, baby. Top of the third inning, 1-0 Angels. United States, Dominican Republic, Mexico, Venezuela, Japan, Canada, Philippines, Nicaragua, Puerto Rico, Taiwan, New Zealand, Australia, and many, many other countries. If you are watching from there, I appreciate you. 1-1 pitch, in play, and Williamson flies out to center, and that is 1 away. Down goes Big Ben, but hopefully he'll be able to do something later in the matchup. Next up is 0 for 1, J.P. Crawford. Come on, J.P. First pitch to J.P. Crawford, high and away with the four-seam fastball. 88 miles an hour by Tyler Anderson. 1-0 count. Anderson is 2-6 with an ERA of 4.43, so nothing really to get too worried about. But again, the Angels are always going to play us tough, regardless if they have a good pitcher or not, or if they have a good lineup or not. You know, it's always going to be maybe the most even out of any team that we play. You know, Astros and Mariners, you know, it definitely is competitive. Rangers and Mariners are competitive. But I feel like with the Athletics and the Angels, even though their records might not be the greatest, they always play the Mariners super tough. Just as tough as the Astros and Rangers, sometimes even tougher. 1-0 pitch, in play, and grounds out. Throw to first, and down goes JP. Got to get JP out of this funk. 2 away. And speaking of guys that aren't in funks, this guy's been strictly uber hot lately. Center fielder Julio Rodriguez. First pitch from Anderson to Julio. High and inside, 1-0 count. And if you're noticing, you know, Julio has been extremely patient, you know, in the box. Like in these first 2 pitches, inside and outside, if this was in the beginning of the year, it would be an 0-2 count, not a 2-0 count. And again, you know, limiting the 0-2 counts definitely gives you a better chance to be able to get hits, RBIs, and home runs and help your team win, which he's finally starting to do. 2-1 pitch, takes a strike looking low and in the zone. 2 balls and 1 strike to Julio Rodriguez. 2-1 pitch, low and away. When's the last time you've seen Julio not swing in the first 4 pitches? Fucking never. I mean, so you're definitely seeing some improvement here. 3 balls, 1 strike. I mean, if we had 4 pitches to Julio, he probably would have struck out 90% of the time early in the year. But now he's learning to not just chase everything like Naylor's doing early on. And he's got a 3-1 count instead of being struck out. So we'll take that. Just little subtle improvements in his game. We already know that he can steal bags and be an elite defender in center field. Now we just need you to be elite in the box. And hopefully his elite play in the box will rub off on some of the other guys that were hot earlier in the year and maybe have cooled off a little bit. I mean, I can think of a few guys that need to heat up again. Here we go. Back. See ya. Julio Rodriguez keeps the hot streak going, homering in 3 consecutive games in a row. My boy. Home run in game 1, 2 home runs in game number 2, and a home run again here in game number 3. 422 feet. They're only solo dingers, but we'll fucking take it. Way to bring the electricity, baby. And that's the version that we love. That's Julio Rodriguez, baby. Let's go. Boom. 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 Let's go. At least someone is helping us try to win here today. Julio. Fuck yeah. Let's see if we can rub off on this guy right here. Big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Let's go. First pitch, high and away to big dumper Cal Raleigh, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike looking by Tyler Anderson, 1 ball and 1 strike to big dumper Cal Raleigh. 1-1 pitch, high and inside, 2 balls and 1 strike to big dumper Cal Raleigh. Come on, Cal. 2-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, high and inside. Nice pitch there by Tyler Anderson. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. 2-2 pitch, low and away with the changeup, 79 miles an hour by Tyler Anderson. Count now is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. The big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Come on, Cal. 3-2 pitch, fouled off right down the middle. Count still is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. Come on, baby. Great to see Julio, doing his thing. But now we just need the others to be able to match his play. There's a good chance that Cal could homer either today or tomorrow. Obviously, for you to cash out, you need it today, but we'll see. 3-2 pitch and takes a strike looking, which is outside, which should have been ball 4. Terrible call. Where's the ABS in the challenge? I mean, again, I'm just sick and tired of these umps, with these terrible calls that are like a foot off the plate. We need to be challenging more of these plays, and I can't wait until we have more kind of like robot access or like a board, behind the players that actually shows where the strike is at. They can have like a lit up board that shows the square and then the baseball lit up if it's in the zone or not. But that was terrible. That should have been ball 4, but they call it strike 3. Terrible fucking call. And again, that's probably the 3rd or 4th bad call that has gone against the Mariners already. Cal is chirping at the ump, and he has a right to. Terrible, terrible call. Especially when it ends up leading to strike 3 and it ends the inning, where we could have kept the rally going with 2 outs. But in hindsight, thank God for Julio Rodriguez. Now we just need everyone else other than Julio to step up. He's doing his job, but again, it's like everyone else did their job at the beginning of the year except for Julio. Now Julio's doing a fantastic job, but no one else is really matching his energy or aura or vibe. But I do believe that others will step up here today. Great job by Julio Rodriguez. I see ya. I love ya. And again, you're not probably ever going to be good for 6 months straight. He's always going to be slow in the beginning, typically having a decent May or June. And then after the All-Star break, he's a 300 hitter. Now, if he can ever figure it out and, get hot at the beginning of the year, then he might have a chance to be good for a whole season, but still hasn't been able to figure it out in, year number 4. But I'm so blessed that we have a player like him. And again, a lot of pressure, on trying to be the face of the franchise and Ken Griffey Jr. 2.0. And hopefully we can get, Cal Raleigh to feed off his energy so that they both can mash at the same time, because we're going to need it. Bottom of the 3rd inning, 1-1 tie. Julio Rodriguez, you are the man. I got the Julio jersey on today, put Julio on the thumb. And I don't know if it's like, bad luck lately, but it just seems like every time I end up using a pitcher, for the thumbnail, we get fucking rocked. So I don't know if I need to start doing just positional players. I mean, I want to showcase, our pitchers with like Wu and Gilbert and Kirby and an occasional, Castillo or Evans and whatnot. But, we'll see how it goes. First pitch fouled off to Rengifo. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch. Grounds out to third. Throw to first. 1 away. Good defense there by Big Ben. But lately, pitchers' thumbs have not, really treated us well. Maybe more Julios and Cals and some of the others. Randy. Maybe we need to start sprinkling more of those players in. Next up for the Angels, the former Giant right fielder Lamont Wade Jr. First pitch, high and away by George Kirby, 1-0 count. Four-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour, has good high-end velocity, but has had a rough year. 4-5 with a 4.65 ERA, missed the first 50-plus games, and normally when he's healthy, he's a top 10, top 20 pitcher, but hasn't looked like that, this year, unfortunately. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike looking low and in the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike to Lamont Wade Jr. 1-1 pitch, high and away with the four-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour again. Same location as pitch number 1. 2 balls and 1 strike with nobody on and 1 out. We're in the bottom of the third here on a global broadcast on MLB Network. We got a Taylor Ward solo jack, a Julio Rodriguez solo jack, and it's eerily similar to the start of the game yesterday, where it ends up being kind of low scoring. They had a 2-run RBI double by Adele, and then we obviously got the home run by Julio to make it 2-1 in the first inning, and then another Julio home run in the 6th inning to make it 2-2, but we couldn't do anything other than that, and that's a problem. We need others to do their job. 2-2 pitch. High and inside. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Lamont Wade Jr. 3-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss, and another punch out there by George Kirby. Nice job, George. Keep wheeling and dealing. I like it, baby. Next up is Zach Neto. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 100 likes before the stream ends. And we're still looking for our first dono on our dono train. The goal is 100 and 100. Yeah, but we've been ripped off on so many bad calls. The one that pissed me off the most was the game number 3 against the Yankees in the Bronx. That was the game that we legitimately should have won. And, we had strike 3, game over. They call it a ball. Next pitch, they get a big, 2-run RBI. Then they tie the game up. Then they go into extras and they win. And there's nothing worse than losing a game when it should have been strike 3, game over, in the 9th. They call it a ball, and they were horrendous that series. That was by far the, worst umping that we've seen in 2025 in the Bronx. And luckily, this particular series isn't as bad. But again, we're not done with the series just yet. First pitch is high and away to Neto, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, fouled off, high and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike from Kirby to Neto. 1-1 pitch, high and away, four-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour by Kirby. 2 balls and 1 strike from Kirby to Neto. Come on, George. And Neto had his bobblehead night yesterday, so I wouldn't expect him to go crazy here today. 2-1 pitch, high and inside, tries to jam the hitter, and does. 3 balls and 1 strike from Kirby to Neto. 3-1 pitch, and that one is outside, and that is ball number 4. That's a 5-pitch walk, and George never walks guys. So again, you're starting to see, things, in his game that you normally don't see. Out of all the starting pitchers, typically Kirby in the past would walk batters the least, and still hasn't been able to find his true form yet after the injury. Next up in the 2-hole, DHing 0 for 1 with a K, Mike Trout. Come on, George. Captain in the building. What's good, brother? First pitch from Kirby to Trout. Takes a strike looking high and away. 0-1 count. Yeah, I mean, if you look at Julio's numbers after the All-Star break, he's a 300-plus hitter every single year. 2022, 2023, 2024, and I believe he will be a 300 hitter in the second half of the season in 2025 as well. We just need him to be better, in the first half of the season. It's like, March, April, not good. May was electric. June was terrible. And then July, we're not done with it yet. So we'll kind of wait and see. But it looks like it's, closer to May than any of the other months. Oh, 1 pitch, high and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike from Kirby to Trout. I mean, I watch every single game from beginning to end. So, yeah, I mean, I'm going to remember the homers. So, obviously, Cal has only had 1 home run post the All-Star break, home run number 39. So, we're looking for home run number 40 tonight. And Neto steals second there. Appreciate that, DJ. We got 139 in the room. We have at least 80 people in the room that haven't hit the like button. Do your boy a solid. It takes literally 1 second. If you don't feel like chatting, you don't feel like donating, you don't feel like sharing the stream, that's everyone's, choice on what they do. But, if you can hit the like button, if you have subbed already, thank you. If you haven't, join the NWSF. And again, this channel is one of the fastest growing, sports channels and, obviously these last recent months. And we want to make sure that we keep that trend moving forward. 2-2 pitch, high and away. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with a runner at second and 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the third with a 1-1 tie. Taylor Ward with a solo dinger. Julio Rodriguez with a solo dinger. Julio has got 4 home runs in the series, right? 1 in game 1, 2 yesterday, 1 in game number 3, and we have game number 4 tomorrow with Logan Gilbert on the mound, and it wouldn't shock me if Julio homers tomorrow as well. 3-2 pitch and another walk. This is very uncharacteristic by George Kirby here. Come on, my guy. Too many walks. Next up, 0 for 1, first baseman Nolan Shonowell. I mean, if you look it up on Google and whatnot, you should be able to get the answer there. They'll give you everything that you want. All right, looks like we're 2 more away from 60. 42 more likes to hit the goal. Let's go, baby. Yeah, back-to-back walks from Kirby, which is very, very rare. Usually George is going to walk like maybe a guy a game. At least he did in the past. He had like the lowest walk rate out of any starting pitcher. But if you end up having a serious injury for the first time in your career and you end up missing the first 50 fucking games plus, of course you're not going to be lights out. You're definitely going to struggle. And in the first 3 starts, Kirby was fucking terrible. But in the last few, he's been, kind of streaky. We've seen George Kirby get, 10 to 14 Ks, and tie a career high. But we've also seen him give up a shitload of hits and runs. So far it's 1-1. So he hasn't shit the bed just yet. But we got to make sure we get out of this inning unscathed. First pitch from Kirby to Shonowell, takes a strike looking right down the middle. 0-1 count. I mean, I don't know off the top of my head. I do so many games, and I do so much research and film study, and with the vlogs and the blogs, and all the different team websites and Mariners PR and everything else. Yeah, I just don't remember off the top of my head what specific inning it was. But if you look it up on Google, it'll tell you instantly. First pitch to Shonowell, takes a strike looking right down the middle, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, low and away with that splitter. 1 ball and 1 strike with runners at first and second and 2 outs. 1-1 pitch, fouled off high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes with runners at first and second and 2 outs. We're knotted up at 1 here early on MLB Network. Global broadcast, bottom of the third. I ended up watching Happy Gilmore 2 that debuted yesterday. It's pretty good. Again, if you're a fan of the series or a fan of Adam Sandler, there's quite a few cameos that are in, the movie itself. MJF, Becky Lynch, Carl from, a couple shows that you may have, remembered him in Shameless and whatnot. So it was definitely interesting to see some of these individuals that make some cameos. Eminem is in it as well. And, it's definitely, I don't know if I would say it's better than the first movie. I think the first movie is better, but they definitely make it in like a 2025 kind of world based on, the things that are going on with the plot. And I think most people would enjoy it if you're a fan of him and those individuals. And down he goes. Down goes Sean Noel for out number 3. We keep the walks intact, and those guys don't come home, thank God. And we leave 2 stranded. Nice job by George Kirby there. Next up for the Mariners in the top of the 4th, 0 for 1, Randy Arozarena. Batting second, 0 for 1, first baseman Josh Naylor. Looking good. I didn't know if they were going to have any good photos of him right away, but luckily the photographers were working overtime yesterday. And batting third, 0 for 1, second baseman Jorge Polanco. Trident's up. Let's go M's. All right, we're at 60 likes. Captaining all day, always working hard, and I appreciate that. We're knotted up at 1 here in the top of the 4th inning. Let's take a look at some pitching stats. We usually wait until around this time. So let's start it off first with Tyler Anderson. 3 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, 1 K, 63 pitches, 44 strikes with a 4.39 ERA. And then with George Kirby, 3 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 earned run, 3 walks, which is uncharacteristic, 4 Ks, 53 pitches, 31 strikes with a 4.57 ERA. Bottom of the 2nd inning, Taylor Ward blasted one, 404 feet, way over Julio's head. He had no chance. 1-0 Angels. And then after Julio saw that homer go over his head, he said, you know what? I'm hot. I hit 2 home runs in game 1. Or no, I hit 1 home run in game 1, 2 yesterday, right, in the L, and ended up getting another one here today. Homer to center, 422 feet, 18 feet longer than Taylor Ward. And it's great to be able to see one of our top guys stay hot because we're going to need it against a team like the Angels. First pitch to Randy Arozarena, which is low and at the knees, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, fouled off right down the middle for Randy Arozarena. 1 ball and 1 strike from Anderson to Arozarena. One pitch, high and away. Change-up missing the strike zone by a few inches there. 2 balls and 1 strike to Randy Arozarena. 2-1 pitch, takes the strike looking right down the middle. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. Top of the 4th inning, 1-1 Mariners and Angels. Naylor doesn't have a hit yet. He had 1 hit yesterday, but hopefully he'll be able to get a hit at this upcoming at-bat. I have to feel it, though. Again, when I make the predictions and they come true, I have to be able to look at the pitch count. I have to look at the pitches, and then I have to kind of feel it. Randy, back. See ya. There we go, baby. That's my boy, Randy Arozarena, joining the home run party that Julio started. Let's fucking go. 2-1 Mariners, baby. Let's go. And there's going to be certain days that I'm going to expect it, and there's going to be days that you get surprised by the home run like Randy Arozarena, because a lot of times he'll strike out. But, again, he's been extremely hot since June 11th, and it's great for him to homer in the same game as Julio Rodriguez. Nice job, fucking Randy. 2-1 Mariners. Fuck yeah. Boom. Let's go. See what Josh Naylor can do here next. First pitch from Anderson to Naylor. Takes a strike looking, high and away. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss, low and away. No balls and 2 strikes to Josh Naylor. Welcome to Randy Land, baby. Let's go. I know they love themselves some Disneyland, but a Mariner fan caught that home run by Randy Arozarena. Welcome to Randy Land, baby. Let's go. Like when I went on the 4th of July, to see the Pirates, Cal Raleigh homered twice, Randy homered once, and even Dylan Moore homered, believe it or not. 0-2 pitch in play, and Naylor with a single, baby. Back-to-back games with a hit. And again, being more productive than Donovan Solano. That's what I'm talking about. Nice job, Josh Naylor. Love this photo of him right here. Here we go. Next up, second baseman Jorge Polanco. And there's a few guys that are kind of overdue for home runs. J.P. Crawford, Jorge Polanco, Mitch Garver, and Dominic Canzone. So you never know who's going to step up to join Julio and Randy for a home run party. And we're going to need it after that devastating loss yesterday. If we would have won that, I think we would have won 3 out of 4. But again, now it's split, and we could still win, 3 games out of 4 if we win today and tomorrow. But definitely a missed opportunity yesterday. First pitch from Anderson to Polo, fouls it off. Right down the middle with the changeup, 77 miles an hour, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, high and away, 1 ball and 1 strike to Jorge Polanco. And Naylor, look at him, stealing second. And you wouldn't assume that Naylor would be a guy that would be stealing bags. I mean, seeing Naylor steal a bag is like seeing Rowdy Tellez steal a bag. It's a little unusual to see the big man rumbling and a bumbling, but we'll take it as long as he doesn't get thrown out. Here we go. It'd be awesome if we can get Polo to join the home run party, but I'm not sure if he's got it in him just yet. But Polo and JP are well overdue. Come on, baby. Join your brother. Let's go. When we hit home runs, we win. It's like it's the games where we don't hit a home run where we're fucking in trouble. We're not really designed to get, 10 hits and manufacture 4, 5, 6 runs off of just RBIs. We need a few home runs. And usually if we get a couple home runs early, it typically leads to a couple home runs late. Polo flies out, and that is 1 away. Next up is Mitch Garver. First pitch from Tyler Anderson to Mitch Garver, fouls it off, high and inside, 0-1 count. Oh, 0-1 pitch, low and at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike from Anderson to Garver. We're in the top of the 4th inning, 2-1 Mariner lead. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 100 likes before the stream ends, and we're still looking for our first dono on our dono train. The goal is 100 likes and 100 on the dono train. Let's go, baby. We're already about halfway through. 1-1 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and 1 strike with a runner at second with 1 out. Top of the 4th inning, 2-1 Mariners. Let's go, baby. One pitch, low and away. 2 balls and 1 strike to Mitch Garver. Come on, baby. Keep the rally going. 2-1 pitch, and grounds out to the shortstop, but Naylor ends up going to third, 2 away. Way to move the runner over. Wish that we could have said the same for JP last night late. Bunting towards third instead of bunting towards first cost us an opportunity to possibly win. Next up is right fielder in the 8-hole, Dominic Canzone. And if we end up not getting a right fielder during the deadline, I think we'll be fine with Luke Raley and Dominic Canzone in right field. But definitely we need to try to get Gino at third and a couple bullpen guys. First pitch from Anderson to Canzone, takes a strike swinging right down the middle, 0-1 count. I mean, unless we were able to get Ryan O'Hearn, but, you know, if we're going to give up, you know, quite a bit to get somebody, I'd rather get Gino than O'Hearn. Gino would have more of an impact, and he's already been here, so he's very familiar with all of the team and the coaches for the most part. I mean, besides Dan Wilson. 0-2 pitch, high and away. No balls and 2 strikes with a runner at third and 2 outs. Come on, Dom. I mean, obviously getting a Dom bomb would be great, but just getting an RBI single to make it 3-1 to continue the rally would be fantastic. Come on, Dom. There we go. Finally, got our first one. We're at 2, 98 to go. Appreciate you. It's always about getting it started early rather than later. But again, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Stacks, racks with a little cactus jack. Bang, bang. We're at 2, 98 to go. Appreciate you. We will get a few other people to help, follow in your footsteps there. 0-2 pitch in play and flies out to left. We leave Naylor stranded at third, unfortunately. We ended up getting that second home run by Randy Arozarena, and we have a 2-1 lead. Let's go. Let me know what you want to do photo-wise, if you got an individual that you want, and I got you. There we go. 70 likes, 30 more to get to the goal. And again, we have at least 80 people in the room still that haven't done it yet. We get half of those people to do it, we're at our goal. And then we can shoot for the next goal of 125. All right, let's see who's up next here for the Angels in the bottom of the 4th. Next up, individual that got them their only run, a solo dinger, Taylor Ward. Batting second, 0 for 0 with a base on ball, center fielder Joe Adele. And batting third in the 6th hole, third baseman Yohan Moncada. 0 for 1 with a K. Trident's up. Let's go M's. Nice job by Randy Arozarena. Nice job by Julio. Now we're going to see if we can get Cal Rowley to join the party. And there might be another individual that might surprise. Who knows? Maybe Josh Naylor will join the home run party as well. But just nice to be able to see Naylor get hits in his first 2 games. So he's already making an impact. Much better than having Donovan Solano playing every day. Now, if they want to implement, Solano once in a while, that's fine. But Naylor, definitely a huge upgrade defensively and offensively. And then again, once he starts getting big RBIs and big home runs, then it's really going to make an impact. Trident's up. Let's go Mariners. First pitch, high and away from Kirby to Ward, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, low and away with that sinker. 2 balls and no strikes from Kirby to Ward. Come on, George. 2-0 pitch, high and away. 3 balls and no strikes to Taylor Ward. I haven't seen Kirby this often, again, but he's been injured this year. So, normally you never see Kirby in 3-0 counts, or at least in the first 3 years, you barely saw him get to that point, or even walking guys, but it is a kind of a transitional period for him. 3-0 pitch, takes a strike looking high and inside. 3 balls and 1 strike to Taylor Ward. 3-1 pitch, takes a strike looking high and inside, paints that corner beautifully with that sinker. 96 miles an hour by George Kirby. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Kirby to Ward. And again, good pitchers can find a way to go from 3-0 to 3-2. Again, getting 1 strike and maybe a foul ball, or if you're lucky enough, back-to-back strikes or back-to-back foul balls. But can you get the last strike to get the out? That's the hard one. Bottom of the 4th, 2-1 Mariner lead. MLB Network Global Broadcast. Taylor Ward with a solo dinger. Julio with a solo dinger. Randy Arozarena with a solo dinger. And we're at 2-1 Mariner lead. 3-2 pitch. Fouled off right down the middle. Count still is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Kirby to Ward. All right, I got you. 3-2 pitch. That one is fouled off. High and inside. Count still is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. Mariners with a 2-1 lead. And the cool thing about Ray, is being as old as he is, still super athletic. And he's one of the only guys like Jericho that's been in almost every federation that's out there. Wrestled in ECW, WCW, WWF, WWE, NJPW. I mean, he's been everywhere. He's a legend and an icon. And the crazy thing is, when it's all said and done, it'll be interesting to see if Dom ends up being more popular than him. Ray is still, one of the top popular guys, even, over 50 years old. But Dom is on his way. 3-2 pitch and strike 3 looking, baby. And that was a long pitch count. 10 pitches to be able to get Ward, but I'll take that. Nice job by George Kirby with another punch out there, baby. Let's go. No home run for Taylor Ward on that at-bat. 1 away. Great job by George Kirby. Next up is center fielder Joe Adell. First pitch from George Kirby, low and away to Joe Adell. 1-0 count. Five punch outs for Kirby. Kirby right now is on 64 pitches, 38 strikes, 5 Ks. So still has plenty of time to go a few more innings. 1-0 pitch. And Adell, slow dribbler, grounds out to JP, throw to first, 2 away. Good defense there by JP. Next up for the Angels, third baseman, Yoan Moncada. First pitch, Moncada flies out to left, and that is out number 3. Very efficient inning there by George Kirby. End of the 4th inning, 2-1 Mariners. Let's see if we can get that 3rd run this inning. Let's see who's up next for the Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 1 in the 9-hole. It is Big Ben Williamson. We know he can play defense. We just need that bat to come alive. Let's go Big Ben. Batting second, 0 for 2, who's been in a little bit of a slump lately, JP Crawford. Drop the fucking bunt down and drop it towards third. You should have dropped it towards first yesterday. But again, let's see if we can get JP on, unless he ends up getting that unexpected home run where he is overdue, or a single or a double. JP is capable, but it just seems like he's in a little bit of a funk offensively and defensively. Got to get your head right. And batting third, the hottest player on the Mariners lately, 2 for 2 with a run and an RBI, and already has a home run today. 2 home runs yesterday, a home run in game number 1, 4 home runs in the last 3 games. He has been uber hot. He's on fire. Julio Rodriguez. Tridents up. Let's go, M's. Let's go. Curious to see if Julio will be able to hit another home run in this game. I believe he only has 5 multi-homer games in his career up to this point, I believe. So it's not like he's going to be doing it as often as Cal Raleigh. But we'll see. And hopefully getting Cal, with home run number 40 That could be the difference between us winning or losing. And also, if we can get some home runs that are not just solo jacks, we need a 2-run blast, a 3-run blast, or a grand salami to kind of push us over the top. When you end up hitting just solo dingers, if the bullpen stinks, if you bring in Vargas and you're up 3-1, that doesn't mean that we're going to win. We could end up giving up that 3-1 lead in a matter of 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden look up at the scoreboard, 3-1 1 minute, and then 4-3 the next, and then we lose. So we're going to probably end up seeing some of the others today. Vargas, Thornton, Snyder, Legomina, those types. And I always kind of cringe when those guys come in because I don't really have a whole lot of faith in those guys. But every once in a while, they'll do a good job. But for every one time they do a good job, they fuck up like 3 times. So we'll see. First pitch from Tyler Anderson to Ben Williamson. Fouls it off, low and at the hip. 0-1 count. Yeah, so I just looked it up. He's got 5, brother. Julio Rodriguez has achieved 5 multi-homer games in his career, the most when he hit 2 against the Angels there. Now he's tied with Ken Griffey Jr. and Alex Rodriguez as the only Mariner players with at least 5 multi-homer games before the age of 25. I got a good memory, my guy. And that's obviously through, obviously Google and AI and MLB Network. So, and down goes Williamson on a dribbler towards third, throw to first. 1 away. It's all good, man. I'm gonna be on it. I'm not gonna be right 100% of the time, obviously, with stats and analytics covering every single team. Not just the Mariners, but I usually have a pretty good memory. When I see something that I read, it usually retains. Next up is J.P. Crawford. First pitch, high and away with the slider, 1-0 count. Pitch is low and away. 2 balls and no strikes to J.P. Crawford. Anderson on the mound, J.P. in the box. 2-0 pitch. Takes a strike looking low and away. 2 balls and 1 strike from Anderson to Crawford. Top of the 5th inning, 2-1, Mariner lead. Cal Raleigh is at 18 career multi-hit games or multi-homer games. 8 games with multiple home runs in 2025 alone. So, not sure who you're thinking of, Captain, but Cal's numbers are insane. I mean, Julio's at 5 for his career. Cal's at 18. He's got 8 this year alone in 2025. I mean, because you got to think Cal can hit 2 from the left, 2 from the right, or 1 from the left and 1 from the right, right? So. We're going to have a pitching change. Anderson's day is done. And down goes JP. No surprise there. James in the building. What's good? 80 likes, 20 more to hit the goal for the first goal. Next up, 2 for 2 with a run and an RBI. Top of the 5th inning with 2 outs, which doesn't faze us whatsoever. We're one of the best teams with 2 outs in the league. Julio Rodriguez, 1 home run in game 1, 2 home runs in game number 2, 1 home run today, and we'll see if he can end up adding to his list. He's got 5 career multi-homer games. Let's see if he can get a home run today to make it number 6. Trident's up. Let's go, Julio. And Sam Bachman is coming in. And Anderson's final line, 4.2 innings pitched. 6 hits, 2 earned runs, no walks, 1 K. 88 pitches, 62 strikes, 4.41 ERA. So we'll see if Bachman can get Julio out or not. First pitch is a slider outside. And 1-0 pitch in play, grounds out to third. And that is a throw to first and out number 3. Hoping that Julio was going to be able to work the count a little bit longer there, but pitching change worked, as far as momentum is concerned. And let's go to the bottom of the 5th inning and see who's up next for the Angels. But Julio's not going to be the reason why we lose. If anything, Julio will be the reason why we win, or at least we're competing. Let him know all day. 98 to go. Next up for the Angels, 0 for 1, catcher Logan O'Hoppe. Batting second, 0 for 1, in the 8-hole, second baseman Luis Rengifo. And batting third, the former San Francisco Giant right fielder, in the 9-hole, 0 for 1 with a K, Lamont Wade Jr. Trident's up, let's go M's. Troy with a 5er, appreciate you, thank you so much. Stacks, Racks with a little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. Appreciate you, my guy. We're at 7:93 to go. Let me know anything that you want to be able to see photo-wise all day. And Tumwata Troy. Appreciate you guys very, very much. And he had his moments when he was on the Dodgers as well, but definitely not the type of player this year. 2-6 record with a 4.43 ERA. So definitely a game where we knew there would be a chance for a couple homers. And luckily, Julio and Randy were able to capitalize here today with Tyler Anderson. But we're still waiting on JP, and we're still waiting on Jorge Polanco. And again, we're waiting for Cal Raleigh for home run number 40. Because again, the faster that we can get him to 40, then he can get to 50. But if it ends up taking a little bit longer to get to 40 and 45, he's not going to hit 60, 65, or 70. He's probably going to hit 50 to 59. But again, he needs to be able to get home run 40 to, gain that rhythm and momentum. First pitch. And O'Hoppe singles to right off that sinker, 94 miles an hour from George Kirby. Nice hit there by Logan O'Hoppe. Next up is Luis Rengifo. First pitch to Rengifo. High and away, missing the strike zone by a few feet. 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch. Right down the middle. Big swing and a miss by Rengifo. 1 ball and 1 strike with a runner at first and no outs. 2-1 Mariner lead. We haven't been able to capitalize off a home run just yet. A double play just yet. They've gotten one on us, but hopefully we'll be able to do the same and return the favor. 1-0 pitch. Takes a strike swinging right down the middle. 1 ball and 1 strike with a runner at first and no outs. Sarah with a 5er. Trident's up. Appreciate you. First dono to the channel for Sarah and Tumwater Troy. Every dollar counts, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Stacks, Racks with a little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. And you can donate on the Super Chat. You can donate through Venmo, and you can donate through Cash App. 1-1 pitch in play, and Rengifo with a single up center field. Now you got runners at first and third and no outs, and you may want to consider pulling George Kirby. Because again, if you keep him in here, it may end up being, 3-2, 4-2, 5-2. The last thing that we need at any time you have runners at first and second, second and third, or first and third with no outs, And again, pitch count is still a little early, but, we have to be able to monitor here. Hopefully he'll be able to get out of this jam. We need a strikeout and a double play, or a double play and a strikeout. Cole with a $1.50 dono. Every dollar counts. Stacks, racks with a little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. Appreciate you. All it takes is one person to start a dono train and others will follow. That's why it's like really helpful when we can get them early in the stream and kind of continue that flow. It's like a snowball. 1-0 pitch. Fouls it off right down the middle. 1 ball and 1 strike to Lamont Wade Jr. Appreciate you, Sarah. I mean, somebody's got to hold it down on YouTube for the Seattle Mariners. I'm that guy. Yeah, Yankees are reeling. Judge is injured. And again, they picked up McMahon, for their third base needs, but that's not Eugenio Suarez. So, hopefully we can take advantage. I know the Blue Jays are. 1-1 pitch. And that one is a 4-seam fastball outside of the zone. 2 balls and 1 strike as Rengifo steals second. Now we have runners at second and third and no outs. This is not looking good. 2-1 pitch, fouled off right down the middle. 2 balls and 2 strikes with runners at second and third and no outs. Yeah, but the problem, Mountain Man, is there's not a whole lot of good managers in baseball. It's not like the NFL when you can call up a coordinator, offense or defense, or get a guy from college. Like in 30 teams in MLB, there's only like 5 good managers. So it's not like, there's so many guys that we could get, and we stuck with Dan Wilson. This is his first year managing. He's slightly better than Scott Service, but not by much. But maybe he'll get better as the years go on. But realistically, he's our bridge guy. He'll be a guy that gets us to a certain point, and then we'll fire him, and then eventually, hopefully, get a guy that'll get us over the top. But he definitely doesn't have the experience or the knowledge just yet to be considered a good manager. Two-two pitch. And that is strike number 3 on Lamont Wade Jr. And fucking A, we needed that desperately. Nice job by George Kirby on getting the punch out. 1 away. Down goes Lamont Wade Jr. Next up, 0 for 1 with a base on ball in the K, Zach Neto. Got to get out of this jam here. Jerry in the building. What's good? Again, and I feel like, his decision-making is irritating, but Scott Service's decision-making was irritating too. Keeping guys in too long, pulling guys too soon, having guys pitch 2 innings in the bullpen when they should only be pitching 1 and vice versa. It's like, he hasn't really figured it out, and you can definitely tell in the games where we're down by a few and then he throws in like a shitty pitcher and just keeps them in there. It's like at that point, he almost just like waves the white flag, like we give up, and you're not trying to actually come back and win, but also we need better bullpen guys as well. First pitch, Neto, deep sac fly, and Ohapi tags up from third and scores, and we're knotted up at 2. And hopefully it'll stay 2-2 here. Next up is Mike Trout. And nice catch by Julio there all the way to the wall in the warning track, deep enough for the runner to tag up. So now you got Rengifo at third, and hopefully we'll keep him at third. First pitch from Kirby to Trout, high and inside, 1-0 count. Come on, George. Don't give up any more runs. And it could have been much worse than just being tied 2-2, so I'll take that. And again, the offense, with 2 home runs so far is a good start, but we're still going to need to try to get to 5 runs to win. I mean, we might be able to win with 4, but I think if we get to 5, that's usually the magic number every game. 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits. Starting pitcher gives up 3 runs or less, and we have to pray the bullpen doesn't shit the bed. 1-0 pitch in play, and Trout grounds out to third, and that is out number 3. With all things considered, with runners on second and third and no outs and only giving up a run, that was a successful outing for George. And again, we'll have to wait and see who they bring in. I don't know if we're going to be bringing in Brash, Rizzardo, Spire, and Munoz today. It's probably going to be the others, the Trent Thorntons, the Legominas, the Snyders, the Carlos Vargases, and that makes me a little nervous, especially when we're tied. But hopefully the tie will only be here for a few minutes. Next up for the Mariners, 1 for 2 with a K. We're looking for home run number 40. Big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Let's go, Cal. We'll take singles. We'll take doubles. We'll take the occasional once-in-a-season triple. But we're looking for home run number 40 from our guy, the best catcher in baseball, big dumper, Cal Raleigh, at 39 home runs, leading MLB. We need 40 here tonight. Batting second, 1 for 2 with a run and an RBI. Has a home run today, Randy Arozarena. Let's see if you can do it again. And batting third, making his presence known in the lineup, was in the 4-hole yesterday. I think the 5-hole is better for Josh, and he has a hit today, 1 for 2. Had a hit yesterday as well, Josh Naylor. And he looks good with the Mariner uniform. You know, there's going to be certain guys that it just looks like a natural fit. There's also going to be guys that it looks a little funny. Like when you look at Lamont Wade Jr. after being in a San Francisco Giant uniform for all those years, this just looks weird to me. But with Josh Naylor, you know, being on the Guardians and the Diamondbacks, this kind of has a natural look, even though it's only been 2 games. And hopefully he'll be able to produce as well. Trident's up. Let's go M's. Go, baby. And the vibe feels a little bit different, you know, from today compared to yesterday. But again, the vibe can change really quick, especially if Vargas is the guy that comes in and blows the fucking lead for us. First pitch from Fanatics to Cal Raleigh. High and away. 1-0 count. And we finally get Cal the bat from the left side rather than the right side. We might be able to get some more production. Hopefully we'll be able to do that here. 1-0 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and no strikes. The big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Come on, Cal. I want home run number 40, baby. Let's go. Top of the 6th. We're knotted up at 2. It's always going to be a battle and a grind, and it's going to be some, you know, disappointment in some of the losses when we lose to the Angels, regardless of their record. But there's also going to be some amazing wins as well, and I feel that this is the team that plays us probably the toughest. Back, and that's home run number 40, baby. I told you. Let's go. 3-2 Mariners. Fuck yeah. You ask, and you shall receive, baby. And you're batting from the right side, and it wasn't working. Let's get him back with a right-handed pitcher batting from the left side, and that was the thing that we fucking needed. Trident's up. Let's go, M's, Julio, Randy, Cal, all going yard. Let's fucking go. Boom, boom, boom. My ESP is on point, baby. ESP all day, every day. Let's go. Next up is Randy Arozarena. And when you know, you can feel it. Let's go, baby. Home run number 40. And when you get home run number 40, there's a chance for home run number 41 later in the matchup. When he gets another at-bat, possibly in the 8th or the 9th inning, don't be shocked if he ends up hitting home run number 41 in this game. Let's fucking go. And the faster you can get to 40, then he'll get to 45 and then 50. And then once he gets to that point, it'll be probably 50 to 59 unless he gets really hot and then can hit 60 to 70, somewhere in that range. But he's going to have to, kind of match that 38 home run pace in the first part of the season to get to 64. But even if he doesn't get to 64, we'll be okay. First pitch, low and at the knees to Randy Arozarena from Fanatics, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and no strikes to Randy Arozarena. And we got homers from Randy, Julio, as well as Cal Raleigh. And that's what I'm talking about. When we get 2 home runs early, it usually leads to a home run or 2 late in the matchup. And again, it's just like yesterday. Julio played great and no one else did anything, like I've mentioned in the past. Today, we get home runs early and we got that home run late. And don't be surprised if we don't get another 1 or 2 home runs before this matchup is over. 3-1 pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Randy Arozarena. Three-two pitch, fouled off right down the middle. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Randy Arozarena. Shows you how important the home run is. I mean, even though they're only solo dingers, but we'll take it. 3-2 pitch and a nice walk by Randy Arozarena. Next up is Josh Naylor. Got a hit in his first 2 games. Let's see if he can get 2 hits for the very first time for the Seattle Mariners. Top of the 6th with a runner at first and no outs. 3-2 Mariner lead. First pitch, high and away with the slider, 1-0 count. Yeah, and it's not just the 40 bombs it's impressive. He's a catcher. It's the hardest position in baseball to play. And the all-time record out of any catcher that has ever played the game in 150 years, the most any catcher has ever hit is 48. So he's going to obliterate that record. So not only is he doing something, on a high level, hitting home runs, but doing it from the catcher position is wild. And now with this Aaron Judge injury, depending on how long he's out, we might have a Cal Raleigh MVP in the American League if he can keep, going and stay healthy, and then Shohei Ohtani winning it in the National League. I mean, normally it's going to be Judge and Ohtani every year, but if there was ever a year to have co-MVP, or have one not being Aaron Judge, but now with Judge having the injury, co-MVP is out the door. That's not going to happen. So hopefully Cal will take advantage, but I do want Aaron to get healthy. Even though they are our rivals, I don't want to see him be hurt for the whole season. Safe at second. Nice stolen bag there by Randy. First pitch from Fanatics to Naylor, high and away with the slider, 1-0 count. Yeah, I mean, we've had guys, Yogi Berra, from back in the day, Johnny Bench, right? Buster Posey with the Giants in their 3 World Series 2 years apart. Udge Rodriguez, Mike Piazza. We've had some names. Salvador Perez has been, pretty consistent lately. And I think a lot of people thought Adley Rutschman was going to be like the new guy. But obviously, Cal has been disrespected, hitting 29 to 34 home runs in his first couple years before getting the torpedo bat, changing his mechanics, and also upping his batting average from the right-hand side 100 points higher than last year. And being able to hit home runs, from the left side, the right side, and multi-homer games from the left and the right. He definitely is doing something that we've never seen before. And I think that this is not just like a flash in the pan. I think this is something you're going to see on a regular basis from Cal Raleigh. This is not going to be the only time, that he ends up breaking records. I think that there is a good chance, if he plays 15 to 20 years, that he may end up hitting more than 50 home runs more than once. And that would be obviously ideal for us Mariner fans. Throw to first, safe. Yeah, but if Judge never got hurt, his numbers, if we're doing it based off numbers, Aaron Judge has better numbers, but if we're actually talking about most valuable player, Yankees and the Dodgers could still make the playoffs without Judge and Ohtani, but the Mariners would have 0% chance of making the playoffs without Cal. So, are we talking about most valuable player, or are we talking about most valuable player based off stats? So there's a difference there. Now we have a mound visit there by the Angels and Fanatics. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 100 likes and 100 on the Dono train. But I'm a big fan of Judge and Ohtani as well. And, I ended up getting a ball in Judge's historic 62 home run season. Looks like Dan Wilson's about to get ejected here. Screaming out the ump here. And normally you don't see Dan Wilson, turning into Lou Piniella ever. If there's anything, Dan is almost like too quiet too often. And sometimes you got to get fired up to be able to get ejected or, to stand up for yourself or the players. I'm curious what he's arguing about here. And there's been a lot of bad calls by the ump, with the strike zone today. But like I said, if we don't have Cal Raleigh and Mitch Garver is the catcher and maybe Harry Ford is the backup, we're probably sitting in last place or second to last place. It's either, the Angels, the Athletics, or the Mariners at the bottom, and then obviously the Astros are at top with the Rangers. And then, and then it's probably us and the Athletics at the very bottom, and the Angels are probably in third at that point if we don't have Cal Raleigh. So, and it looks like Dan Wilson got enough words in, but did not get ejected. Woodworth came out there to kind of save him. Umpire timeout. 1-0 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and no strikes from Ferdinand to Naylor. Two-0 pitch, takes a strike looking high and away. 2 balls and 1 strike from Ferdinand to Naylor. And you also have to realize, we're mentally tough as Mariner fans. We've only had 4 good years out of 40. How many people could actually root for a team knowing in a 20-year span you have no chance of making the playoffs? So again, we're built a little bit different. We've never been to a World Series, but we've had some of the greatest players to ever put on cleats, and we've never had guys cheat either. So obviously Alex Rodriguez cheated after he left the Mariners, and we don't claim him. We got Ken Griffey Jr., we got Randy Johnson, we got Edgar Martinez, we got Ichiro, we got Julio, we got Cal, we got Logan Gilbert, we got Brian Wu, we got George Kirby, but again, history, obviously repeats itself, but records are going to be, meant to be broken. But again, good things could happen for us in the near future. And Randy sliding into second safe. We have runners now at first and second with no outs. Next up is Jorge Polanco. But definitely I was extremely lucky, in 2022 in Julio's rookie year to get a foul ball, against the Royals and Bobby Witt Jr. And then a few weeks later, I predicted I would get an Aaron Judge ball, which is probably the most insane thing to say, especially when he was having his record-breaking 62 home run season. But believe it or not, I did. I ended up getting an Aaron Judge ball as well. So out of 9 or 10 games, I've gotten 3 baseballs, which is not, common. It's you definitely have to be a honey badger. You have to be in the right place at the right time. And, you have to act quickly. You can't be drinking too much. You can't be on your phone. You can't be eating out of a nacho helmet. You really have to have your head on a swivel, because once you get a ball that comes into your area, it's literally you have a half of a second to react. And if you react quickly, you might have a chance. If you don't, you have no chance of getting a ball. My best friend Justin has lived here in Oregon and in Los Angeles, and he's been to probably 50 to 100 Dodger and Mariner games combined, and he's never gotten a ball. The closest he's gotten to a ball was with me when I got that Julio Rodriguez foul ball in the 9th inning in Julio's rookie year against the Royals and Bobby Witt Jr. And he was sitting right next to me. So definitely want to help him get a ball so that way he can have one in his collection. But it's definitely not easy. You definitely got to have your head on a swivel. Top of the 6th inning with runners at first and second and no outs. And we're going to have another pitching change. Fermin is out, and they're going to be bringing in Brogdon next. We've had 1 pitcher. They've had 4. Meltdown incoming. I got you. He doesn't really have too many photos just yet, so we got that one there, but I can get you an Oscar photo. First pitch to Jorge Polanco, low and away with the changeup, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, low and away with the changeup again. 2 balls and no strikes from Brogdon to Polo. And we're in good position here. We're up 3-2. We got runners at first and second and no outs. We still have Kirby in the game. And, hopefully we don't end up having, shitty bullpen guys like Vargas come out to, give them the lead back. But again, we'll have to wait and see what we have rotation-wise in the pen. 2-0 pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle. 2 balls and 1 strike to Jorge Polanco. 2-1 pitch, low and away with the 4-seam fastball, missing the strike zone by a few inches. 3 balls and 1 strike with runners at first and second and no outs. We're up 3-2. We got 3 solo dingers. And hopefully we get a few more. I mean, no one will ever question, Alex Rodriguez, that he was a great player. But the thing is that after leaving the Mariners and getting that big, record-breaking deal of like, $250 million back then, which would have been like a $500 or $600 million deal now, based on where the, money was back then. He went to the Rangers, and obviously we know he's had some time with the Yankees. But I don't know, man. Like, he's really the only player that has been on the Mariners that I kind of feel is a douchebag. Like, if you actually watch him interview and the way that, he's reacted, when he was playing post Mariners on the Rangers and the Yankees and after baseball, being an announcer or a commentator, we don't claim him here in the Pacific Northwest. It'll be like the only star that we'll never claim. Griffey, Randy Johnson, Ichiro, Edgar Martinez, Julio Cal, but not Alex Rodriguez. If we're supporting a Rodriguez, it's only Julio. Alex is a fucking douchebag. And there we go. And we'll take another walk, bases loaded, 3-2 for Mitch Garver. And there's going to be Mariner fans that love Alex Rodriguez, and that's completely fine, but, he's just not for me. Oh, Brett Boone, amazing role player, Again, guys like Brett Boone are going to be like John Olerud and, those type of guys. The Raul Ibanez's, the Nelson Cruz, and it's kind of funny, like some of the guys, that have Yankee ties haven't really been that good. Like, Robinson Cano, overrated. Alex Rodriguez, kind of a douchebag, and obviously we got Alex to leave our team and end up going to the Rangers and Yankees. And obviously we ended up getting, Robinson Cano to come from the Yankees. But again, being in that Yankee lineup with Jeter and Bernie Williams and Jorge Posada and then coming to the Mariners, he never really did what we thought he was going to do. And we definitely overpaid. Nelson Cruz was much better. Raul Ibanez was much better. Kyle Seager, much better. Felix Hernandez, much better. Just keeping it real. 2-1 pitch. Makes a strike swinging low and at the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes with bases loaded and no outs. No, I got him loaded up, but I didn't know if you were still in the room or not. Once we go to a commercial break, I'll be able to pull some of those up. Two-two pitch. High and away. That should have been strike 3 for Brogdon, but for whatever reason, they don't give him the call. Call now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with bases loaded and no outs. Did we get a grand salami out of Mitch Garver? Yeah, Randy was special. I mean, I saw him at USC, and then obviously when he was on the Montreal Expos with Pedro Martinez, Oil Can Boyd, Marquise Grissom, Andres Galarraga in play, and popped out to second, and that is 1 away. Yeah, Mike Cameron. I mean, we've had a lot of good role players, over the years. Harold Reynolds and, and some of those guys, they may not have been like the best player on the team, but they definitely helped us win. Next up for the Mariners with bases loaded, Dominic Canzone. Let's see if we can get at least 1 run. I mean, obviously, best case scenario, 4 in this inning, but you just don't know how, the ball is going to play. It might be a couple, cheap, pop-ups, could be some strikeouts. We could hit into a double play, but hopefully before this inning ends, we get at least 1. if you got bases loaded and no outs, you should get a minimum of one, but preferably two or more. But sometimes the ball doesn't bounce in our favor. So first pitch to Dominic Canzone, takes a strike looking, high and away, 0-1 count. '96 double plays for the Angels. My goodness. Most in the majors. Don't even think about getting a fucking double play here. Here we go. 0-1 pitch, and that's going to bring in some runs. Canzone singles the center. Arozarena and Naylor hustling and both scoring. There we go. 5-2 Mariners. My boy. Boom. 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 That's what I'm talking about, baby. And that's what happens when you ask for the minimum amount. You don't get greedy trying to ask the sports gods for 2, 3, 4. You just ask for the bare minimum, and then usually they will play into your favor. There we go. Nice job by Dom. 5-2 Mariners. Next up is Big Ben Williamson. First pitch, big swing and a miss, low and away, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle from Brogdon. No balls and 2 strikes with runners at first and third and 1 out. Let's see if we can get one more run before this inning ends. Let's go. Reflect with a fiver, 0-2 pitch, big swing and a miss, and down goes Williamson, 2 away. Stacks, racks with the little cactus jack, bang, bang, appreciate you. All right, let's see if we can get JP off the schneid. He hasn't been very good offensively or defensively. I mean, it's nowhere near, Dylan Moore status. But again, a couple of mental errors lately, with defense and bunting towards third instead of bunting towards first last night, making some errors, and getting baseballs to go past him. I don't know what's going on, if he's got an injury or it's something mental, but hopefully, we'll figure it out here with JP. Appreciate you, Reflect. Good to hear from you. I mean, if JP really wants to get off the schneid, he can hit a 3-run blast right here and get us up 8-2. He's overdue for a homer, but I don't know if he'll get it here. But he could get a single or a double if we're lucky. And then, if we can end up driving in one more run and get it to 6, that would be great. But we'll have to see if the rally will continue or not with 2 outs. Low dribbler up the middle, and he got it. Yes, there we go. And JP Crawford with the RBI, baby. And a mental error there by Rengifo. I love it. Sometimes you just got to talk it into existence. There you go, JP. And Polo scores from third. 6-2 Mariners. And Canzone just kind of stopped right there, and all he had to do was tag him, but then he tried to throw the baseball, and he dropped it. That should have been an easy routine play, and Rengifo looked like J.P. Crawford a few days ago, making a blunder there in the infield, but we'll take it. The bag was right there for the force out. Unbelievable. Yeah, Raul Ibanez was a fucking stud. Absolutely. And I don't know why the scoreboard hasn't updated yet, but hopefully that will update here shortly. But we have a 6-2 lead, and let's keep it moving. We had to get revenge for last night. That was a game that we should have won. Polo scores on the error. Crawford at first safe. Now you have runners at first and second with 2 outs. We're up 4 now. Scoreboard updated. Now we got Julio Rodriguez, who hit obviously a home run in the game number 1, 2 home runs yesterday, a home run today, 4 home runs in 3 games, and we have game 4 in the set tomorrow. Again, Julio Rodriguez hit his 6th multi-homer game in his career. Let's go, baby. First pitch fouled off, low and at the knees. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch. Inside, tries to jam the hitter with the changeup. 1 ball and 1 strike with runners at first and second and 2 outs. 1-1 pitch in play, and Julio grounds out to the fielder's choice to the shortstop. Canzone out at third, and that is the end of the inning, and that's okay. Try to get some photos for the donos here. And again, there's not a whole lot with Naylor. Obviously, he just started playing, so we got that. And let's see if I can get you an Oscar. And we got some Rays loading up here. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 100 likes and 100 on the dono train before the stream ends. Bottom of the sixth inning, 6-2 Mariners. Let's go, baby. Appreciate you guys very, very much. And if there's anything else that you want to see, Tumwater, Troy, Sarah, Reflect, let me know, and I got you. First pitch from George Kirby to Nolan Shawnoel, high and away with the sinker, 94 miles an hour, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike looking high and away with a slider, 84 miles an hour, 1 ball and 1 strike to Nolan Shawnoel. 1-1 pitch, and a single to center in front of Julio Rodriguez. Nice base knock by Nolan. Next up for George Kirby, a home run early in the matchup, 1 for 2 with a run, RBI and a K, Taylor Ward. First pitch from Kirby to Ward, takes a strike looking right down the middle with the slider, 85 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Yeah, no Vargas just yet, which is good. But there's still no guarantee that they might throw him in, though. You just have to anticipate if we do put him in that the lead might shrink a little bit. 0-1 pitch, low and away with the slider, missing the strike zone by a few inches. 1 ball and 1 strike to Taylor Ward. 1-1 pitch, low and away with the sinker. 2 balls and 1 strike to Taylor Ward. Mariners in firm control so far, but it's not over yet. Still got to wait to see what happens with our bullpen. But obviously their bullpen had a fucking meltdown. And again, we have a very good chance of winning. If we win today, to win 3 out of 4. We got Logan Gilbert on the bump tomorrow. So the game will be on Roku at 1:10 Pacific, but I will have access to the game. So no worries there. There we go, 100 likes. Let's see if we can get to 125 before the stream ends, which should be doable with 3-4 innings to go. Maybe we could even get to 150, maybe. You never know. Just depends if people want to support or not. 2-2 pitch, low and away. Out now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with a runner at first and no outs. Mariners up 6-2, and it feels good. Much better than yesterday. Again, Julio plays great. No one else shows up. But today, Julio plays great, and everyone else is stepping up as well. 3-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Down goes Taylor Ward. Home run number 2 for the day. Not here. 1 away. Next up, one of the heroes yesterday who had a 2-run RBI double in the first inning. Center fielder Joe Adell. 0 for 1 with a base on ball today. See if we can get a slow dribbler right up the middle for a double play so we can return the favor. First pitch from Kirby to Adell. Low and away with the slider. 1-0 count. Bottom of the 6th inning, global broadcast on MLB Network. Mariners 6, Angels 2. Getting home run production all over the board. Julio Rodriguez, Randy Arozarena, Cal Raleigh, and again, we're getting some good base knocks from Dominic Canzone and a few others. Let's go. Let's keep it moving. 6 runs, 8 hits. The magic number is 5 runs and 7 to 10 hits, and we're there. Adele on the 1-0 pitch, in play, and it drops into right field. Now you have runners on the corners at first and third with 1 out. Next up is third baseman Yohan Moncada. And Kirby's pitch count is at 90, so he's getting pretty close to getting pulled. Let's go, baby. Let's keep it moving. We have 9 subs today. Now we only need 27 more to get to 21,200. Shout out to the 9 new subs that we've acquired today. And we've been pretty consistently getting 5 to 15 or more each day. So I appreciate you guys very, very much. First pitch from Kirby to Moncada. High and away, 1-0 count. Let's see if Kirby can end up getting out of the jam. And they got Trent Thornton in the pen. So at least it's not Vargas. So as long as it's not the Trent Thornton that we had at the beginning of the year that gave up 5 homers in like the first 15 games, as long as we don't get that version of Thornton, we'll be just fine. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike, swinging low and at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike from Kirby to Moncada. Runners at first and third with 1 out. And let's see if Kirby can get out of the jam. 1-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss, low and away. What a beautiful pitch by George Kirby here late. 1 ball and 2 strikes with runners at first and third and 1 out, and he was able to get out of a jam in the 5th inning. And if he can get 1 more strike here or an out, he'll get out of another jam here in the 6th. And normally that's when pitchers fall apart. You know, when you have runners at first and second, second and third, or first and third with no outs. 1-2 pitch in play, and it hit him. Fuck. Uh-oh. Now we got bases loaded with 1 out. Not putting Trent Thornton in a very good position if you bring him in here. Next up is Logan Ohapi. And he's at 94 pitches right now. I mean, the last thing that we need is for them to hit a grand slam and then all of a sudden it's 6-6. You know, we have to be careful here. I mean, we worked so hard to get to this point, and then there's our 10th new sub in the stream here. Shout out to the 10 new subs that we've acquired today. 26 now to go to get to 21,200. I don't know if we would want George to finish this inning. I mean, we got bases loaded, 1 out. I mean, regardless if it's George or Thornton, they're probably going to score at least 1, maybe 2. But we want to make sure they don't score 3, 4, or 5. That's the key. And we want to make sure we still have the lead by a couple runs, whether it be 6-3 or 6-4. But the last thing that we need is it to be 6-5, 6-6, or 7-6 after this inning is over. We worked so hard to get this lead. We don't want it to evaporate. And again, George, his pitch count is getting up there, and he got out of a jam in the 5th, and we could have pulled him then when we had runners at first and third with no out. And he was lucky that he didn't give up anything. But, I mean, literally, you could put anybody in and they could fuck up. You could put in Brash, Pizzardo, Spire. Obviously, you wouldn't be bringing in Munoz in this situation. But, I mean, to bring in a guy with fucking bases loaded and 1 out, not really ideal. There we go. Gained another sub. 12 subs today. Now we only need 25 to get to 21,200. Yeah, Kirby arguing that he was swinging. Hard to get a double play with bases loaded, though. You can get a bases loaded. You can get a double play with a runner at first. You can get a double play with runners at first and second. But and you can definitely get a double play with runners at first and third. You know, it's probably easiest with a runner at first. That's number one for a double play. You know, slow dribbler right up the middle. Runners at first and third is probably number two. Hit it right up the middle, tag second, throw to first, bang, bang. You know, and then first and second is probably third. Second and third is probably, you know, a little bit harder. And then obviously bases loaded double play is probably the hardest. Not easy to get a double play with bases loaded. I mean, is it possible? Of course. You know, but it's not going to be easy. And now Newman is running for a Moncada, and they keep Kirby in. Hopefully this is the right decision. First pitch from Kirby to Ohapi, fouls it off right down the middle. 0-1 count. Come on, baby. 0-1 pitch, fouls it off right down the middle. Great pitching here by George on Ohapi. Behind in the count 0-2 to Logan Ohapi. Come on, George. One more strikeout. Finish your day strong with a 6-2 lead. So that way we might be able to get you a win. We got to try to get him to 500. 0-2 pitch. High and away. Four-seam fastball missing the strike zone by a few inches. 97 miles an hour with that four-seam fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes with bases loaded and 1 out. Mariners up 6-2 in the bottom of the 6th. Come on, George. Kirby on the mound. Logan Ohapi in the box. Come on, George. 1-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Great pitch by George Kirby. 2 away. Fuck yeah. I mean, usually the trident will be for home runs, but hell, big fucking strikeouts, we'll throw it up as well. Nice job. Huge. All right, we're down to our potential last hitter in the box if we can get this last out. Bases loaded, bottom of the 6th. 6-2 lead, 2 outs. Next up is Luis Rengifo. First pitch, big swing and a miss with the knuckle curve. And I was just about to say, when are we going to see the knuckle curve out of George? And there it is. And he hasn't been using it as often in his previous starts. So, you know, and again, when he's wheeling and dealing with the knuckle curve, sometimes he'll pitch it 3 pitches in a row. I don't know if he'll do that here, you know, but we'll see how he feels with it. Usually he likes to mix it in with the slider and the splitter and the curve and the four seam, but we'll see what he does for pitch number 2. 0-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, splitter, 85 miles an hour. Woo, baby, George feeling it now. 1 more strike to get out of this jam. George Kirby, 4-5 record with a 4.65 ERA. Get this strikeout so we can get you to 5-5. Let's go, George. 0-2 pitch, high and inside with the four-seam fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes with bases loaded and 2 outs. And it kind of feels like George can do it. You know, there's going to be certain moments where you feel like, you know, bad things are just about to happen. But even with bases loaded, it feels like we're going to get out of the jam. Fingers crossed. Bottom of the 6th, bases loaded, MLB Network Global Broadcast, Mariners up 6-2. Kirby on the mound. And he just needs 1 more strike to be able to finish strong here, and then he will be out, and they'll bring Thornton in. Come on, Kirby. 1-2 pitch, high and away with the four-seam fastball, missing the right corner by a few inches. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Luis Rengifo. 2-2 pitch, fouled off low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Luis Rengifo. Come on, baby. Kirby on the mound, Rengifo in the box. 1 more strike. Let's go. Come on, George. Get furious. Let's go. Give me that furious George. Smoke his ass. 2-2 pitch. Knuckle curve, fouled off, low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes with bases loaded and 2 outs. Hold them to 2. Let's go. Bottom of the sixth, 6-2 Mariner lead. 2-2 pitch, high and away. Man, Kirby's got a knack for the dramatics, doesn't he? Count now is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, bases loaded, 2 outs. Kirby on the mound, and he's about to go out, for the last pitch of his outing. If we can just get this last strike and finish strong. Don't give up any runs. Come on. Kind of feels like if he throws the knuckle curve or, possibly the splitter, that might be the pitch that gets that last strike. 3-2 pitch and got the out, number 3. There we go. Let's go, baby. Great job by George Kirby. There we go. Bases loaded, no fucking problem. And, in previous starts, George would have given up a home run or given up, something big, a big RBI. But for him to get that punch out there, huge. Way to finish strong. Great job by George Kirby. And again, it's nice for him, with the season that he's had, missing the first 50 games with shoulder inflammation. It's nice to be able to see him succeed, not fail. Great fucking job, George Kirby. Let's see if we get rewarded with home run number 41. 2 for 3 with a run, an RBI, and a K. Big Dumper hit home run number 40. Let's see if we can get number 41 here. Kirby, baby. That was sweet. And a lot of times in those clutch situations, we fuck up. So glad they didn't put Thornton in, and George got the job done. Batting second after Cal Raleigh with a home run himself, 1 for 2 with 2 runs, an RBI, and a base on ball, Randy Arozarena. And batting third, 1 for 2 with a run and a base on ball. He's got a hit in both of his first 2 games. Let's see if he can get his second hit. And this particular matchup, Josh Naylor, looking good in that Seattle Mariner uniform. Trident's up. Let's go Mariners. Hell yeah, baby. Now Fulmer is coming in for Brogdon. Man, they're going through a shitload of pitchers in their pen. It's nice to be able to see other teams having a fucking meltdown for once other than us in the pen. All right, Cal, you got home run number 40 tonight. We predicted that. Let's see if we can get home run number 41. First pitch from Fulmer to Raleigh. Fouls it off. Low and away, 0-1 count. But obviously having to swing from the right side at the beginning of the game kind of hindered, some of his, follow-through swings. But once he got that pitcher, that was a right-handed pitcher after Anderson went out, then immediately took 1 yard. And let's see if he can do it again. 0-2 pitch, big swing and a miss, and down goes Cal Raleigh on strikes, 1 away. Nice job by Fulmer with the punch out, 1 out. No home run number 41 for Cal, but maybe he'll get it tomorrow. Next up for the Mariners, left fielder Randy Arozarena. He's got 1 home run today. Can he get 2 in a game like Julio Rodriguez did yesterday? Let's see. Top of the 7th inning, 6-2 Mariners. Griffey's got the record, 41 home runs before August, and you would assume Cal Raleigh will obliterate that. I mean, even though we're getting kind of towards the end of the month, so to speak, should still be able to beat that record. Maybe not by a lot, but by at least a few. First pitch from Fulmer to Randy Arozarena, low and away with a slider, 1-0 count. Ooh, Sasaki. Great role player. Let's go, Randy. Keep wheeling and dealing, and Randy has been fantastic since June 11th. Julio's been fantastic. Cal's starting to get back into a groove. Now we just need JP and Polo and Dom and the guys at the bottom of the order with like Ben Williamson and Cole Young to kind of find a little bit of a rhythm. And hopefully we end up getting Eugenio Suarez. But if we get Gino, that means Harry Ford is gone. He'll be the number one piece that is a part of that deal. And it won't be just Harry Ford. We'll have to give up probably 3 players for Gino, but it'll be worth it. I mean, hell, we can give them Carlos Vargas, Dylan Moore, and Harry Ford. But I don't think they would want Vargas or Dylan Moore. I don't know if anyone would. Top of the 7th inning. 6-2 Mariner lead. Come on, Randy. Carson Fulmer and a punch out on Randy. Come on, Randy. And down goes Naylor for out number 3. That was way too quick of an at-bat. You want guys to be able to grind out the at-bats a little bit more, but at least Naylor has been able to get a hit each game. And again, if that's what we get from Naylor as he pops out for out number 3, again, there's going to be games where he goes 2 for 4 or 2 for 5 or maybe 3 for 5. But most of the time it's going to be 1 for 4, 1 for 5. And then eventually that one hit will be an RBI or a home run. So far, there have only been singles, but it's a lot better than Naylor going 0 for 5 in back-to-back days and doing nothing. And we know he can play defense at first better than Solano. So, we have to take what we can get with him, and we still have a 4-run lead. All right, let's see who's up next here for the Angels in the bottom of the 7th. Next up, 0 for 2 with 2 Ks, right fielder Lamont Wade Jr. Batting second, 0 for 1 with an RBI, a base on ball, and a K, Zach Neto. And batting third, DHing, future first ballot Hall of Famer Mike Trout. Trident's up. Let's go M's. And let's look at Kirby's final line. Great job by George. 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 9 Ks, 106 pitches, 65 strikes, 4.50 ERA. And we normally don't let anyone go over 100. But that was a good decision. Much better to go with a tired George Kirby than a fresh Trent Thornton. And hopefully we have the good Trent. Better than Vargas, even though Trent's not very good either. All right, Trent, don't make me regret putting your photo up. You're not one of our good guys in the pen. You're one of the shitty ones. So I usually don't throw photos up of the guys in the pen unless it's Brash, Pizarro, Spire, or Munoz. But don't make me regret this, Trent. Thornton on the mound. Lamont Wade Jr. in the box. Let's go, baby. First pitch to Lamont Wade Jr. Takes a strike looking. 0-1 count. Oh, 0-1 pitch. Low and away with the curveball. 1 ball and 1 strike from Thornton to Wade Jr. One pitch. Takes a strike looking high and away, which should have been called ball. And again, this ump is not as bad as the umps that were in the Bronx against the Yankees, but definitely not the greatest, but we could say that pretty much every day. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Thornton to Lamont Wade Jr. Matt in the building. How are you? 1-2 pitch. In play, and Lamont Wade Jr. grounds out to first. Taps on the bag, and that is 1 away. Next up, shortstop Zach Neto. First pitch from Thornton to Neto. Takes a strike looking high and inside. 0-1 count. So far, so good for Trent Thornton, even though his ERA is ridiculous. Absolutely, we can make the playoffs. Again, if we end up getting Eugenio Suarez, we might be able to, take over the Astros, in first place in the American League West. But, I feel it's going to be the Astros and the Mariners in the American League West. We'll have the Tigers in the Central, and then you'll have probably the Blue Jays and
we'll see what happens with the Yankees with this Aaron Judge injury. You would assume Yankees and Red Sox are pretty close to each other, so, not ideal that, Aaron Judge is injured and whatnot, but, definitely, we have a very good chance to make it. And, who's to say that we wouldn't be able to be the best team, out of all those teams? Obviously the National League is much deeper with the, Phillies, the Mets, the Brewers, the Cubs, the Dodgers, the Padres, and the Giants. They're much deeper over there. For us, it's Astros, Mariners, the Tigers, and then the Blue Jays, Yankees, and then maybe you can even throw the Red Sox in there, even though they're very up and down. But with this Aaron Judge injury, the Red Sox may overtake the Yankees for second place, possibly. Not 100% guarantee, though. Popped up and flied out there by Neto, and that is 2 away. Good job here by Trent Thornton. Never thought I would say that, but he's not making me regret using the photo. Next up, DHing 0 for 2 with a base on ball and a K, Mike Trout. I got to do the job of 2 people, my guy. I got to do live play-by-play and color. First pitch from Thornton to Trout, high and away, 1-0 count. I do things in an original way. I don't copy anybody else. We do things different here. 1-0 pitch, high and inside. 2 balls and no strikes from Thornton to Trout. Plus, I like symmetry. When you have one mic, you don't really have that symmetry, but just want to make sure that everything is being heard, especially, if I'm looking at one game or the other and I turn my head, we want to make sure that everything is clearly being heard by everyone. 2-0 pitch in play. Trout grounds out to third, throw to first, and that is out number 3. Mariners are wheeling and dealing, baby. We're getting payback from yesterday. Nice job by Trent Thornton. Never thought I would be able to say that. Let's see who's up next here for the Seattle Mariners in the top of the 8th inning. Let's see if we can get to 8 before this game is over. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 2 with a run and a base on ball. Second baseman, Jorge Polanco. Batting second, 1 for 3, catcher Mitch Garver. And batting third, 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs, right fielder Dominic Canzone. Trident's up, let's go M's. And we gained 3 more subs, so we're at almost 15 subs on this game alone. $22 to go to be able to hit 21,200. It's just great to be able to see the support that we've been able to get, with the subs. Obviously, if we could get, the likes on a higher level, over time we will, and we'll end up going from 100 likes to 125 and then 150. And eventually we'll get to a point where 200 will be the goal, as far as the likes are concerned, regardless if we have, 100 or 500 people in the room. We just got to slowly but surely keep grinding it out. And obviously, the better the Mariners do, the more eyeballs will be on the channel, as well as the better Cal Raleigh does, more eyeballs on the channel as well. So, and I feel that, we are going to be making a lot of noise, from here on out for the next 10, 20 years. So could be pretty exciting, for the Seattle Mariners, the Oregon Ducks, and everything else that I cover on the channel. Blazers, Kraken, NASCAR, WWE. This weekend, coming up next weekend, we got SummerSlam. So we got the Ranger series starting on Friday. Next week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we got obviously one more game against the Angels. Then we play the Athletics, and then we got the Rangers. So on Friday, next Friday, I'm going to go to downtown, and I'm going to go to an arcade probably early in the afternoon. So I will do the game with the first game of the Rangers next Friday. But on Saturday and Sunday, I'm going to be doing SummerSlam day 1 and day 2. So I will still be watching the Mariners and giving updates if those end up overlapping. But those 2 days will be reserved for SummerSlam, and then we'll be back doing Mariner games pretty much the rest of the way. I mean, the only time that we're not going to do a Mariner stream is because of a WWE PLE, like a WrestleMania or SummerSlam. So we're probably only going to be missing, I would say, less than 8 games the whole season. So it's going to be much more than anybody else. 1-2 pitch, in play, and Polo with a nice single to left. Nice job, Polo. But the card for SummerSlam looks pretty good, and it'll give us a chance to be able to have a switch up for a day or two, and then we'll still keep tabs and give updates with the Mariners when I end up doing that particular SummerSlam stream for night 1 and night 2 next weekend, and then we'll be right back at it again. Top of the 8th inning with a single by Polo with no outs, 6-2 Mariner lead. Next up is Mitch Garver. Yeah, being on Roku for tomorrow, I know a lot of people will probably be streaming, that or trying to find a streaming link, but I will be able to call the game. So, and Garver, first pitch pops up and flies out, 1 away. Next up is Dominic Canzone. Was hoping that Garv would work the count a little bit, but ends up popping up and popping out. First pitch to Dominic Canzone from Fulmer, low and at the knees, 1-0 count. Let's go, Dom. And that's a wild pitch, and Polo getting the second safe. There we go. Yeah, I'm not really sure how it's going to work with the whole Roku thing because it's the first time that we've had a Roku stream all year. So, I don't know. I mean, in the future, we're going to probably have it on, Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus, Prime. Nothing is going to be out of the ordinary. Obviously, we have the Apple TV Plus broadcast sometimes on Friday night, but going into the future, it's not going to really surprise me if we end up going with streaming apps for some of the games. But I'll still have access to whatever we're doing, no matter what. So there won't ever be a day where I won't be able to work. So 1-2 pitch, low and away, 4-seam fastball, missing the strike zone by a few inches. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Fulmer to Canzone. Yeah, hopefully Judge won't be out longer than like the 2 weeks, but them reeling right now, picking up McMahon from the Rockies, so they're out on the Geno sweepstakes. And, again, injuries have been a problem for that particular team. And again, I know the Blue Jays and the Red Sox are probably smiling ear to ear, knowing that they can, make some ground if you're the Red Sox on them. And then the Blue Jays extending their lead for the top of the division. But, hopefully Aaron will be able to come back and, they'll still be able to be competitive. I mean, baseball is better when the Yankees and Dodgers are good because you're either rooting for them or rooting against them, but you want to be able to see the best players in the world, Shohei Ohtani, Aaron Judge, and obviously this year, Cal Raleigh. 2-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. Down goes Dominic Canzone, 2 away. Canzone strikes out swinging. Nice pitch from Fulmer. And next up, 0 for 3 with a K, Ben Williamson. Come on, Big Ben. Yeah, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Bo Bichette, but really the catalyst for that team is George Springer. He definitely had different batting mechanics, last year and struggled and really worked hard in the offseason. And you've seen a real drastic improvement out of George Springer, and they've definitely been able to take off with him and Vladdy kind of leading the way. First pitch, low and away, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch. Takes a strike looking low and at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike with a runner at second and 2 outs. 6-2 Mariner lead. 1-1 pitch. Fouled off low and at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes with a runner at second and 2 outs. And I'll have to see what my pup is doing. Sometimes she likes to sleep in the kind of kitchen living room area. Sometimes she'll be on the couch. So I'm not really too sure. Most of the time she'll make an appearance, towards the 8th or 9th inning because it's based off time in her head. And she usually knows when, I'm about to be almost done and whatnot. So I'll check up and see if she is available. And if she is, I'll be able to show her on screen. If she's sleeping, I'm going to let her sleep. So 1-2 pitch, fouled off low and at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Fulmer to Williamson. She's an American Staffy. So she's an American Staffordshire Terrier, which is kind of like a pitty. It's kind of in that same kind of family, except maybe not as aggressive and doesn't have such a square face. It's a little bit cuter, of a face and whatnot. 1-2 pitch. And Williamson in play gets a single and Polo scores. Here we go. 7-2. And having an 0 for 3 day and actually making the most of your at-bat. Nice job, Big Ben. Let's go. Next up is J.P. Crawford, another guy that's been struggling a little bit lately. First pitch to J.P. from Fulmer. Takes a strike looking outside of the zone. Should have been called ball, but called strike. 0-1 count. Come on, J.P. But obviously the Angels have gone through like a billion pitchers and they've had a meltdown. I'm glad that we're not in that situation. Mariners have gone through 2 pitchers. They're on their 5th, and they're probably going to be on their 6th here in a moment or two. 0-1 pitch, low and at the knees to J.P. Crawford. 1 ball and 1 strike to J.P. J.P.'s 0 for 4. He's been making errors and not being as clean defensively and struggling in the box lately. Hopefully he'll be able to get it turned around because he did have a 15-16 game hit streak just a few days back. But since that streak ended, hasn't really been the same. And Williamson steals second. There you go, Big Ben. B-dubs. 1-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes to J.P. Crawford. Yeah, Staffy's, man, I mean, like I said, she changed my life forever. I mean, I've had her since, she was 6 weeks old, and she's going to be turning 4 next month. And again, she saved my life, like literally. And again, like I haven't had a bad day. I used to have really bad depression and anxiety. And, ever since I, broke up with a girlfriend and ended up moving out and, taking Paisley full time myself. And it's a big responsibility with her to keep her happy and to keep her in shape. And it definitely has changed my mental health for the better. But also, too, I'm walking 5 miles a day, 3 times a day, 5 miles a day, 7 days a week for 2 years straight. So I've been able to lose a lot of weight. I've dropped 90 pounds in the last 2 years. I don't drink soda. I don't eat fast food. I eat healthy. And again, she definitely has changed my life for the better. All right, baby, let's go to the bottom of the 8th and see who's up next for the Angels. And I get a lot of joy and pride on being able to take her to get her, nails trimmed and dremeled and me washing her and, being able to see her happy, getting her things from Petco and whatnot. It's a great feeling when you know that you're doing everything as a dog father to, be a great dad. I'll show you a picture of the last photo I took on July 22nd, just recent. And you can always tell if a dog is happy based off their smile when you take photos of them. Also, if they end up getting the zoomies. If a dog gets zoomies on the regular basis, they're happy. If they're not, then there might be something up. But she's, so special to me. And again, I couldn't imagine living my life without her. She's a cute pup, let me tell you. Next up, in the 3-hole, Nolan Shonowell. On deck, Taylor Ward. And batting third this inning, Joe Adell. First pitch from Trent Thornton, who's in still in the matchup. Takes a strike swinging high and away, 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch. right down the middle for a strike, but called ball. I don't know what the hell this ump is looking at. He's calling strikes, balls, strikes. I mean, that's right in the zone, in the middle, and you're calling it a ball? What the fuck is going on here? I mean, I get it if it's like on the line, but if it's like in the square, how the hell are you calling that a ball when it's right down the middle? 1-1 pitch in play, and Shawnoel singles to right. Brutal. Come on, ump. Why are you giving them extra chances? Nice single there by Nolan Shawnoel. Next up is Taylor Ward, who had a home run early in the matchup. 1 for 3 with a run, RBI, and 2 Ks. First pitch, and Ward singles to right. Shawnoel to second. Back-to-back singles there with no out. I feel like if you're a regular drinker of beer or liquor or soda, obviously caffeine or coffee, it is a hard thing to break, but it's about being around certain people, and it's also having discipline and, being able to go with the alternatives, water, juice, milk, and just trying to find, other things. I mean, really the only thing that's not healthy that I'm doing is Monster energy drinks, which are bad. I know they're bad for you, but, if I'm not, drinking coffee and I'm not doing soda, at some point I have to have something, to kind of give me a little bit of a boost and whatnot. But, usually after you get to that point of, I want to say probably like 21 days, and once you hit the 21-day mark, 3 weeks, you create a new habit. So if you're able to get 21 days in on anything that you're doing, positive, negative, and you want to make a switch, once you can do it for 3 weeks straight, then it's easy after that. But it's those first 3 weeks that are a little bit tough. You have to really be strong and have some good discipline. You got to have the discipline. First pitch from Thornton to Adele, takes a strike looking, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch. Fouled off right down the middle to Joe Adele. No balls and 2 strikes with runners at first and second and no outs. Oh-2 pitch. Fouled off high and away. No balls and 2 strikes with runners at first and second and no outs. Don't fuck this up, Thornton. Thornton on the mound. Joe Adele in the box. But again, I haven't had a bad day in years, ever since the separation from toxic people in my life. So, and sometimes you have to, make those tough decisions, on people that you think that are your friends, but they're more acquaintances, and whatnot. And, once you separate yourself from negative energy and negative people, your life really can turn around for the better. 1-2 pitch, and Adele strikes out swinging. Wow, nice job by Trent Thornton. 1 away. Next up is Kevin Newman. He's pinch hitting here, so let's see if I can grab the photo quick enough. And first pitch to Kevin Newman in play with the cutter and grounds out into the double play. Perfect. After the issue with Yohan Moncada with the little slight injury. And again, we've been waiting all day to get a double play, and better late than never. We get it late. And Thornton is pumped. It's crazy for a guy that is like Vargas, extremely off most of the time, and for him to pitch 2 solid innings and not give up a run, we have to applaud that. And again, Reflect ended up posting the stat line, ERA over 5. So 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100, Thornton's going to fuck up. Not only in 1 inning, but he pitched 2. So again, give him some kudos. He did a great job. I mean, if we would have put in Vargas, would he have been able to do the same thing? Probably not. So great job there. We have a nice 7-2 lead, and now we go to the top of the 9th. Let's see if we can get to 8 before the game is over. And we got the guys to do it too. Next up, 2 for 4 with a home run, a run, and an RBI. The guy has been hot, 4 home runs in 3 games, Julio Rodriguez. Batting second with home run number 40 accomplished, 2 for 4 with a run, RBI, and 2 Ks, big dumper Cal Raleigh. And batting third with a home run as well, 1 for 3 with 2 runs, an RBI, and a base on ball, Randy Arozarena. This might be one of the first times that we've had Julio, Cal, and Randy all homer in the same game. We know they have the ability to do it, but a lot of times you don't get all 3 of them to do it in the same game. Nice job by those guys stepping up. Not just Julio yesterday with 2 home runs and everyone else just shitting the bed and doing nothing. Quick recap. Bottom of the second inning, Taylor Ward homer to center, 1-0 Angels. Top of the third, Julio Rodriguez gets his 4th homer in 3 games. Center field, 422 feet, 1-1. We feel good. Then in the top of the 4th, Arozarena homers, 411 feet, 2-1. We feel really good. Then Neto sac fly, 2-2 tie. Cal Raleigh in the top of the 6th, homers, 3-2 Mariners. We're feeling good again. Then in the top of the 6th, later in that inning, Dominic Canzone singles to center. Randy and Naylor scored, 5-2 Mariners. We're feeling ourselves. We're on cloud 9. Then later in that inning, Polo scores on an error. Crawford safe at first on the fielding error by Rengifo, 6-2 Mariners. And then Williamson in that last inning, single to center. Polo scores, 7-2 Seattle. 2-0 pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle to Julio Rodriguez. 2 balls and 1 strike to J-Rod. Let's go, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Where are we at on the likes? How close are we to 125? And hopefully we get a few more on the dono train and a few more on the likes as well. 2-1 pitch in play, and grounds out to the shortstop, throw to first, 1 away. Reflect with a 3-er, appreciate you. Every dollar counts. Stacks, racks, Cactus Jack, bang, bang. And every dono goes towards just the basics, paying the internet bill, paying the streaming fee, which is a separate company, and, taking care of my pup. That's literally every single thing that is done is being able for me to continue to do this dream. So remember, when you're donating to the channel, you're supporting someone's dreams, and that's the biggest compliment that anyone can give. First pitch, right down the middle in the zone for a strike to Cal, but called ball. I have no idea why. 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch to Cal Raleigh, high and away. 2 balls and no strikes from Fulmer to Big Dumper. 2-0 pitch, low and away with the 4-seam fastball. 3 balls and no strikes to Big Dumper Cal Raleigh. Come on, Cal. I don't even know if they're going to even pitch it close to the strike zone for him. 5 more likes for 125. Let's get there. And we have at least 70 people in the room that haven't hit the like button yet. So we can get a fraction of those people to show some love and support, then we'll be there. And then eventually we'll get to a point where we're hitting 200 likes on the regular instead of 100 to 125. All you need is just a little bit more support from people that are watching. 3-1 pitch, big swing and a miss. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Fulmer to Big Dumper Cal Raleigh. There we go, 125. Let's see if we can get to 130 before the stream ends. And we've gained almost 20 subs today. Pitch fouled off right down the middle. Shout out to the subs that we've gained here today. 15, 20 subs gained. Now we only need 20 to get to 21,200. Shout out to all the new subs today. 3-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. And down goes Cal Raleigh. Striking out swinging. 2 away. All right, we're down to potentially our last batter. 1 for 3 with 2 runs and RBI and a base on ball. We had homers by Julio, Cal, and Randy, which is great. The 3 amigos, the 3 musketeers. And obviously, I can't wait for Victor Robles to come back to this team. I mean, imagine if we end up getting Gino in the trade, a couple bullpen guys, and then Victor Robles is healthy in September. We're going to be dangerous. Let me tell you. You know, I respect the Astros. I respect the Tigers and the Yankees. I respect the Blue Jays. But I'm telling you, I mean, if we can add a few more people, who's to say that the Mariners can't make a deep run? First pitch, Randy Arozarena grounds out to the pitcher, and that is an easy out number 3. We weren't able to get to 8, but hopefully we'll be able to shut the door down here, and we'll see who we're bringing in. We've only had to go through 2 pitchers today, which is great, keeping our bullpen fresh for Logan Gilbert tomorrow. We'll be live at 1:10 Pacific, and it's on fucking Roku. But again, I will have access. Trident's up. Let's go M's, baby. And I don't know why we have bad luck when we end up putting pitchers on the thumbs. It just seems like every time we end up putting Kirby, Gilbert, or Lou, we lose. And when we put Julio and Cal or another positional player, we win. So, and I got Gilbert on the thumb for tomorrow, but I don't know. I may change it. I don't want to jinx him. Next up, 1 for 3 with a run and a K. Catcher Logan Ohapi. Batting second, 1 for 3 with a K, second baseman Luis Rengifo. And batting third, 0 for 3 with 2 Ks, the former San Francisco Giant, Lamont Wade Jr. Trident's up. Let's go M's. Well, of course, in the cheating period, yeah, no one is going to respect them there. And then we gained 4 more subs after getting like 20. So now we're well over 20 subs in this stream alone. Shout out to all the individuals in the room. That was quick. Four subs in a matter of 2 minutes. Anytime you can gain 15, 20, 25 subs in a 3-4 hour stream, you know you're doing good things. And now we only need 16 subs. 21,184, 16 to get to 21,200. Shout out to all the new subs that we've been getting on the daily. Appreciate you guys very, very much. And again, you know, I feel that based off my thumbnails, presentation, you know, stats and analytics, photos, and, you know, being unbiased and giving, you know, love to both teams, you're going to get something here that you're not going to get from any other streamer on YouTube, period. We're definitely very unique here. All right, Carlos Vargas is in the game. Oh, my. Hopefully he doesn't fuck this up. First pitch from Vargas to Logan Ohapi. Fouls it off right down the middle, 0-1 count. Oh, golly, Carlos Vargas. Golly. Anybody but Vargas. And we gained 2 more subs. After gaining those 4 subs in 2 minutes, 2 more. Now we only need 14 to get to 21,200. 20 plus subs in this stream alone. You guys are awesome. Speaking of awesome, I don't know if I can say that about Carlos Vargas. We'll see how this goes. 0-1 pitch and flied out to right. Logan Ohapi, 1 away. So far, so good from Carlos Vargas. Next up, second baseman Luis Rengifo. On deck, Lamont Wade Jr. And realistically, based on the batting order, we should be able to get out of this inning with those 3 batters. You would assume, but it is Carlos Vargas. So, you know, we've had a lot of 3-1 leads that have evaporated and then down 4-3 after he exits. But, you know, this is a little bit different situation being up by 5, you know, with no pressure for him, but we'll see where it goes. Lauren in the building. What's good? Oh, 1 pitch in play and grounds out to second. Wow, Vargas actually doing a good job here, getting them in a position to chase a little bit. 2 away. Down goes Rengifo. Down goes Ohapi. We're down to our last out here, potentially. And again, we got all the momentum with Logan Gilbert on the mound tomorrow. And I like our chances of winning tomorrow as well. We've already won the series, more than likely. We're up 2-1. And here we go. Lamont Wade Jr. in play. First pitch, grounds out to second. And that is it. Wow. Carlos Vargas actually doing something good for once. But when we're up 5, he should. Awesome. What a great complete win. Thornton pitched well, right? Yeah, ended up having Vargas at the end. He did well. I mean, we literally had no weaknesses today. And it's great to be able to have a game like this after a disappointment yesterday. Awesome. Great fucking win. Top to bottom. Paisley approves. '40th home run of the season, baby, by Cal Raleigh. You the man, baby. And when the Mariners win, what do? We fucking dance. Mariners win. Mariners win. Mariners win. Fuck yeah. Final score, Mariners 7, Angels 2. I love that. Yesterday was a fucking game we should have won, and we let them have it. And this one, there was no question who the top dog was today. And we definitely have the momentum going into tomorrow as well. Let's go, baby. And we got Logan Gilbert on the mound tomorrow, baby. Let's go. Can't wait. Let's go. Trident's up, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Hell yeah, baby. Yeah, and again, he is a career 300 hitter after, the All-Star break in his first 3 years, and I imagine he's going to do it this year as well. And this is the best part. Astros lost and we won. That never happens, right? Every time we win, they win. And, and then we lose, they win. And then now we finally, win a game and they lose. It's, we got to be able to try to make up ground as much as we can. So George Kirby with the win now at 5-5. Good for him. Especially when he was reeling in the 5th and the 6th inning where he could have fucked it up, with runners at, 2nd and 3rd and no outs in the 5th, runners at 1st and 3rd with like 1 out in the 6th. And we were still, and then it turned into bases loaded, right? And we still got out of those jams. And we've seen Kirby fuck up in those situations as well as other players. But today it was all Seattle, all day, every day. Let's go. Anything I can do photo-wise for any of the people that donated all day? Tumwater Troy, Sarah Ann, Cole, Reflect. Is there anything you guys want to see before I go? And shout out to all the new subs, gained 20, 25 subs just today. And now we only gained another one. Now we only need 13. We might be able to hit the goal tomorrow. I mean, based on how we've been producing lately, we could probably get 13 subs easy tomorrow. And then we'll be at 21,200. Let's go. Great W. Trident's up, baby. I had a feeling wearing the Julio jersey would give us good luck, and it sure did. SoundCloud through one of my really good friends, Brooks Beats. But I'm not sure if all of that is going to be on there just yet, so. Appreciate you. Great job with you and Captain. Obviously we know with his new job, he's going to be a little limited. So you're pretty much my right-hand man, and I appreciate you very much. And it's great to be able to see newbies like Sarah Ann come through and some of the OGs as well. Shout out to Tumwater, Troy, and Sarah Ann, first donos to the channel and showing some love. And then obviously all day, Cole, Reflect as regulars doing the damn thing as usual. Appreciate you guys very, very much. And yeah, great game. And again, it's going to be an early stream tomorrow, 1:10 Pacific. So make sure that you're up. I'll be up early, walking Paisley, and I'll be settled in. I've already made the thumb for tomorrow. Now, I don't know if we'll use the thumb. I don't want to jinx Logan Gilbert, but this is the thumb for tomorrow. And I'll have to decide tomorrow morning if I want to stick with Logan Gilbert or change it up to, someone else. But here's a little sneak peek on tomorrow's thumb. And I want to be able to support Logan and the pitchers like Wu, Kirby, and Gilbert. But I don't know, for whatever reason, when we do the pitcher thumbs, we get our ass kicked, and I don't want to lose tomorrow. So we will see. Well, I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very much. Shout out to all the people that subbed, all the people that donated, liked, and shared the stream. I appreciate you guys very, very much. And again, we will be live tomorrow at 1:10 Pacific for the last game in the set. We're up 2-1 in the series, and we want to be able to go up and win 3 games out of 4. Final score, Seattle Mariners 7, Los Angeles Angels 2. And again, it's all Tridents up all day, every day. Homers by Julio Rodriguez, Randy Arozarena, and most importantly, Cal Raleigh with home run number 40. Love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. And I got one question for you. Who talks sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Final score, Seattle Mariners 7, Los Angeles Angels 2, and I'm out. Tridents up. Go M's.